Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Want to talk yourself into the Packers being okay after the news we got yesterday? Good luck. I'm not buying it. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Bogish in for Andrew Perloff today. And Bogues, it's not the worst news I've heard in preseason, but it's certainly not great. And that is Jordan Love has a torn ligament in his non-throwing hand. He had surgery. He's having surgery. Will miss the rest of the preseason. Not expected to miss week 1. But this is, and I hate this about the schedule. I hate when you start the season with a division game. It's too important, especially for a division that's as crowded as the NFC North. But their schedule is gangbusters right out of the gate. So now you're going to have Jordan Love dealing with yet another early injury, which certainly, the team was able to stay afloat last year, but this is not awesome. And you add on to it, the entire wide receiver room is a mash unit. And I don't know how you can be optimistic about the Packers right now.
Well, I can be non-optimistic, but also not pessimistic about them. I'll live somewhere in the middle because you said the key thing already, non-throwing hand. It's his left hand. He barely needs it. He barely needs it.
This is where people, I think, get mad at us because we didn't play. And I would never say that you don't need the non-throwing hand because if you're going to take a snap under center, if you're going to be comfortable out there at all, you don't want any of your fingers, including a ligament in your thumb, to be aching, ailing, hurting, compromised.
Sure, but if he needs to live at a shotgun for a week, pistol, whatever it is, because taking the snap, jolting that finger is the thing they're trying to avoid, they'll be okay for week 1 no matter who they're playing. If he's going to get hurt on August 11th, 12th, have the surgery, miss preseason, and I understand that wide receiver room has been in flux the entirety of the Jordan Love era, basically, in Green Bay. So you want as much time out there. You want as many reps as possible. Now, they think he's going to practice next week. He's not going to play in any of these last 2 games. Fine. He might not have to begin with. So he's going to be out there at least throwing, maybe working on some timing. So it's not like he's gone for multiple weeks.
Yeah.
This is, again, if he's going to get a nick, he's going to get a knock, get it now, get it out of the way and don't, put it on something that is a less important body part, and his non-throwing hand is certainly long down the list of important things.
All right, let's get to head coach Matt LaFleur said the Love injury, not ideal, but this is life in the NFL.
It's life in the National Football League. You got to adapt, you got to adjust, and we'll try to make the best of it. Just like I've said with many of our guys, you never want your guys, you don't want anybody to miss practice, whether it's a starter or a backup. It doesn't matter. We want everybody there working on their craft, putting in the work to get better.
Okay, more from LaFleur said there's going to be a learning curve adjusting to Love and his post-surgery capabilities.
From what I've been understanding, that it's a pretty relatively quick recovery. So hopefully we'll be able to get him back out in some capacity sometime next week to work on and work through, because I've never personally dealt with a situation like this. So there's going to be some learning curve along the way in terms of how do we adapt and how do we adjust.
Oh, fabulous.
Well, I guess
head coach, never heard of anything like this, never had to deal with, well, not that he hasn't heard about torn ligaments, but never had to deal with anything like this. Well, this is a guy who many people believe could be in the MVP conversation if all things go well, and they're not going well.
Now, I assume that last part means, like, I've never had to run a practice with a quarterback who only had one hand, right? This is an injury that we've never seen before. Like, Joe Burrow mentioned this with his wrist. Like, it was unique. It was something that quarterbacks don't normally deal with. So it was like that was uncharted waters. I'm guessing that LaFleur just means here, I've never had a practice plan where I had to worry about my quarterback taking snaps.
Well, if we find out that Jordan Love also has to learn how to play Tchaikovsky to get himself back to full strength, which is what Joe Burrow had to teach himself the piano to get his wrists back in shape. But this is how I would describe the Green Bay Packers right now. It's snake bitten. And, to be fair, it's not actually a very top-heavy roster. Like, they do have a lot of depth, but this depth is being tested. And not everybody is going to be ready to go week 1. So you have Christian Watson, obviously, who is going to be on PUP, he may miss half the season, maybe only misses 4 games. We're not sure. Jaden Reed is in a walking boot right now because his foot is injured. Dontavian Wicks has a calf injury. He's not doing great. And yesterday, Romeo Doubs had a collision with safety Evan Williams, and now he has a lower back injury and didn't want to talk to reporters yesterday. Add in on top of it, Xavier McKinney. Giants fans here know him well. He may be remembered as the one who got away. Phenomenal for the Packers last year. He has a calf, and Nate Hobbs, their quarterback, is dealing with a meniscus tear that he had surgery on. According to Packers reporters, he's still hobbling around. It's just not what you want. It feels a little bit snake-bitten. And listen, do I think that any of Jordan Love's injuries had an impact last year? Yes, I do. And it was the first game of the season. He got hurt in like the last play of the game, basically, against the Eagles in Brazil, and then got banged up subsequently. And Malik Willis held his own, but tell me that didn't impact the season at all. They're in the divisional round. They're playing against the Eagles. I know it was tight in the second half, but this was a season that was remembered as Jordan Love being banged up.
So that's where I can join you on this. Love's left hand injury in a vacuum doesn't really concern me. Everything else, throwing that on top of all of those injuries and lack of good health and lack of practice time and lack of reps, that's the concern. It's the number of things that they're dealing with right now.
That's a lot.
Right, and like in particular positions as well. That's the issue. But just Jordan Love hurting his left hand, having surgery, that by itself doesn't spook me that much. But throwing this into the mix now where there's so many guys that they need to be out there that aren't out there, that's a little concerning.
And listen, if you are really into the Packers depth chart or you're really watching Packers preseason stuff, then you know, or if you live in the state of Texas, which I know we are on in Texas this morning, you know about Matthew Golden. The wide receiver from the Longhorns has been a revelation, right? First time in forever that the Packers have spent a first-round draft pick on a wide receiver. By all accounts, he looks phenomenal. But I ask you, this is a team that at the best-case scenario is a Super Bowl contender. And when was the last time a rookie wide receiver was really leading a group that went that deep into the playoffs? It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen with rookie quarterbacks and doesn't happen with rookie wide receivers. Maybe you can be your third guy or a gadget or something like that, but not somebody who, if you look at all this laundry list of injuries, now it's like, well, Matthew Golden's here. Well, come on, guys. Let's be a little realistic about even an awesome rookie, what they're able to do in terms of, leading to a championship or anywhere close.
Well, and he's the guy that you'd want Jordan Love to be on the practice field with all of the time. So the hope, I think, if let's check in a week from now, and if they reset the Love timeline where, okay, he's not ready to practice yet, then maybe this becomes a little more concerning. But even just missing however many workouts they have between now and quote-unquote next week, like that is something they're going to have to catch up on. There still seems like a lot of time before week 1 to get that time back to a certain extent. But yeah, like they find themselves relying on really there's another third-round pick wide receiver as well. So there's young guys in that mix that they need to have the practice and the experience, and at least for a couple of days, they've got their best quarterback on the sideline watching.
Okay, so we're talking about the Packers. Jordan Love tears a ligament in his non-throwing hand, but I think this is a big deal. Bogusch not so much worried about Jordan Love. So they start off the season home against Detroit, and maybe getting Detroit in the first week of the season is maybe a good thing. You got 2 new coordinators. You're trying to work in some new protocols and personnel, I guess.
I'll never see it coming.
I'll never see it coming. And then quick turnaround Thursday where they host the Washington Commanders, who we know were a very good road team last year. And then
Commanders.
I take it all back.
Quick trip to Cleveland. Okay. Maybe get right there.
It's a bye week.
Going to still have to worry about Myles Garrett getting up in your face. And then prime time against the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Then your bye week, early bye.
Don't forget, I had 2 sons, right?
Just keep going. I want to see if Manny has a drop for every single game on there.
I don't want to test him in this way. It's not going to be an easy schedule. It's what it's coming down to. So curious if you have thoughts on the Green Bay Packers. EJ loves this show, Love Island. Not just you. Like most of America loves Love Island.
I think we're in the minority for not loving it.
I know. Manny, you watch it too? No.
Hell no. He lives on Love Island.
Rowing a canoe out to Love Island. What's the opposite? Is there like a Panic Island? That's where I feel like the Packers fans should live.
Yeah, it's called Gilligan's Island.
They're surprisingly calm on that island, which is weird.
And some hotties.
Everyone else keeps getting on and off the island, and they have to stay. But
It's like a key party.
I'm surprised that you even know Gilligan's Island. That's way
I'm
before.
familiar with his hat.
Oh, yeah, the bucket hats came back.
Of course.
The Gilligan. That's how he knows Gilligan's Island. That's awesome.
That's like saying I'm familiar with his game. Familiar with his hat.
Not very good game. He keeps getting lost.
That, and he's not really linked to any of the hot women on the island.
That's a shame for Gilly.
You think if that was that amount of people who were stranded on an island, like they'd have to start taking turns? I don't know. I haven't really thought about
taking
it.
turns.
I haven't really thought about it.
Just pick a teammate.
One way to say it.
Anyway,
Back to
EJ
football.
likes Love Island, and I feel like this is Panic Island. This is you're rowing your canoe out to Panic Island and just hanging out for a little bit when you look at all the injuries that are going on with the Packers.
I think this is your sweet pessimistic brains. I know other things are coming this morning where you're shockingly skewing towards the negative. So let me talk you back on the literally Love Island, because he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's not his right hand. It's not his right elbow. It's not his right shoulder. And if they're pretty declaratively saying he's going to be good for week one, he's going to be good before week one. Like, there is very little doubt that I heard or read yesterday that he was not going to be out there for week one. So let's think snake bitten is one way to look at it. On the other side, here's the luck of him getting hurt in August with time to be ready for those 2.5 tough games to start the season.
Last play of the game against the Jets in a preseason game. I mean, that is just some bad luck. Here's the other thing, though, about, I can't poo-poo this even though it's not on his throwing hand. Because if you're having any trouble taking snaps under center, you can say, you go to shotgun. Well, you kind of become predictable when you have to be in shotgun. It impacts everything, right? This is what we talk about sometimes, the decline of the college game, because it's so predictable because guys are in shotgun all the time. And I just think if you are running an offense that's based on explosive plays, which is what Jordan Love is really good at, pushing the ball down the field. He had more pass attempts over 20 yards than any quarterback in the NFL last year. You want him being as comfortable as possible. You want the play action. You want all of it. And if he is going to be just constantly in shotgun or what have you, then you're basically telegraphing defenses, this is where I'm going to be.
Well, but the college shotgun argument is because then guys don't know how to be under center, don't know how to exist there and back off or turn their back on a defense. That's not what we're talking about here. Jordan Love is not going to forget how to be under center.
No.
Now, obviously, if they're always at a shotgun, it does affect a little bit, I guess, what they're going to do. But it doesn't make them drastically easier to game plan.
Well, the other part, too, is that Jordan Love, who can really use his legs in a great way, and that is certainly a weapon. Anytime you're out there, you're a little bit more exposed. Throwing hand, non-throwing hand, you get out in the open field, and all of a sudden you're a runner,
If you got some kind of big club on that hand to protect whatever, like that, sure.
Ball security, I mean, what does it always come down to? It's so cliched, I don't even think we talk about it anymore. What is the NFL basically? Turnovers. I mean, if you're not feeling confident at all, and I know the weather's not going to be bad yet. I mean, maybe rain, but, the weather's not going to be bad. It's not the frozen tundra in September, but ball security, always a thing. Maybe the biggest thing in the NFL. And if you have anything is compromised, even if it's not your throwing hand, I just think it's a big deal. 888-710-4ISN.
What's the ball security on Love Island like?
I mean,
Very bad.
It's the number one key.
Yeah, it's literally why it exists. It's terrible.
With a lot of love.
There you go. So let's get started with the Packers and Jordan Love having surgery on his non-throwing thumb. We got a lot of Cowboys to get to, including I'm willing to declare it right now, the greatest zinger that Jerry Jones has ever been on the receiving end of. It's a mic drop. I almost feel like someone wrote the line for him.
Are you kidding me?
And scene.
And we'll tell you who got right to the heart of all things that you deplore about Jerry Jones. And by the way, it was from a fan.
I don't know his name.
You know this guy. I guarantee you know this guy. We'll do that next. Maggie and Perloff Show. Bogusch in for Pearl today.
Why?
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Sit by myself, talking to the moon.
Welcome back. I thought Jerry had met his match with Micah Parsons. No. We got the real person who has been brought to us on a silver platter to take Jerry Jones down a peg. And ironically, this person is a massive Cowboys fan. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Bogish, in for Andrew Perloff. If it takes a two-time Oscar winner, then it takes a two-time Oscar winner. Bogues, I'm not sure if you saw Denzel Washington. Ever heard of him?
Fordham product, Denzel Washington? I am well aware, yes.
Westchester kid, Denzel Washington.
All right, guys, quit trying to clout chase off of Denzel.
I'm sorry.
We all know him. We all claim him.
I'm just following Gelb's lead because over the last 2 days, he had a connection to everything you guys talked about.
Gelb's connected dude. Okay. Denzel Washington, and he did a great job filling in the last 2 days. Okay, Denzel Washington on First Take says Jerry Jones not thinking about the fans anymore.
I've been a Cowboy fan since the 60s. He's making it hard for me. Wow. Not to be a fan, because I'm still a Cowboy fan. I'm still going to have the star on the side of the hat.
Okay.
But he ain't thinking about us. He's thinking about his pocket.
Oh, man. Just delivering these lines and just wait for the dagger. More from Denzel saying Jerry Jones doesn't know the difference between being popular and being a winner.
There's box office and there's Oscars. Jerry, been a while, huh? You ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Ooh.
Wouldn't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Uh-oh.
Haven't been to the show, so you wouldn't know what it is to win.
I mean, just pack it up. Just go home.
That one had stage direction. He turned to camera right to deliver that line.
He found his camera. I mean, it's Denzel Washington, for goodness sakes. Of course he found his camera. But
been a while, huh? You ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Man, box office versus Oscars. And that one just cuts right to it, right? Because you can be the circus. The circus sells tickets, but nobody is confusing the circus with the Broadway show.
You think football is still fun?
This is cold. And
why are you smiling?
Coming from a self-proclaimed Cowboys fan, you can feel the pain. I mean, I know he's a trained actor, but I feel like I could understand Denzel's pain.
No, it's not fun anymore, not even a little bit.
It almost feels like any movie in the last, 25 years that Denzel has been sad in, he has summoned up his Cowboys fatigue to get to bring on those tears on camera.
Well, the problem, too, is that everything he's saying is not only 100% justified, and I hate to do that, I told you so, because I don't want to be that type of person in your life. But I said years ago when Perloff and I started on the afternoon show, and I got tons of blowback on this, I said Jerry Jones no longer cares about winning. And Pearl, not you're in his seat, doesn't mean you have to defend him today, Bogues. He goes, what are you talking about? Jerry Jones cares about winning more than anybody. I just said there's no evidence of that. And once Jerry got into the Hall of Fame, and he's alive to enjoy it, and Robert Kraft is not in the Hall of Fame, and all these things that got validated, I think Jerry completely stopped thinking about winning. That was the end goal. The Cowboys being valued at whatever more than the Lakers and the Yankees, and him getting in the Hall of Fame. And Jerry's about to have like this Netflix documentary about his life, because you're nobody if you don't have a Netflix doc. And this is him on the red carpet saying the Cowboys are a soap opera, and that's good for the franchise.
If we're not being looked at, then I'll do my part to get us looked at. The Cowboys are a soap opera 365 days.
The screening will begin
when it gets
momentarily.
slow, I'll stir it up.
Please take your seats.
And so it's wonderful to have the great athletes, have the great players. But there's something more there. There's sizzle, there's emotion. And if you will, there's controversy. That controversy is good stuff.
Yeah.
Been a while, huh? You ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. I turned in my season tickets immediately if I heard this. By the way, I already know it in the back of my mind. Hearing this at a night that's supposed to be celebrating Jerry Jones and yet another bloated, inflated, not true probably, documentary that looks at him through rose-colored glasses because he gets some kind of producer credit. No disrespect, Netflix. This is happening all over the place. I would turn in my season tickets immediately.
This is no democracy.
So any hope of Denzel's cutting takedown affecting Jerry are out the window, because Jerry actually agrees with Denzel and confirms his thoughts. And there's also a clip. I don't know if there was some kind of Q&A before or after the premiere episode of this Netflix doc the other day. And I saw a clip where Jerry basically says, you watch us because you love us or you hate us, and that's like where I want to be. Like, so this is, like you said, the end game is attention. The end game is not necessary. Winning is secondary to people paying attention to his franchise.
I can't prop this up if I'm a Cowboy fan. That's why I would turn in my season tickets. Like, it's one thing to be a soap opera and be interesting or all of that when you're winning. When you're just like every other mid-franchise, well, now I can't prop you up because
Put your hand down.
That's exactly what I'm doing. And it's very much of this era now. It's taken a while for people to catch up with Jerry, that just all publicity, good publicity, what have you. But the problem is it's the NFL. There's actually a prize at the end. There's literally a way we can tell if you're good or not. And the Cowboys aren't good enough.
Drop a pass, you run a mile.
And I think we might have discussed this last week. It might have been on one of the days where I was filling in on Bill Ryder's show. Like, there's a theory, and it gains more and more steam every time Jerry opens his mouth, that all of these contract negotiations and staring contests and stalemates, that they're almost for show. Like, that's it. Like, he just picks fights with Dak and CeeDee Lamb and now Micah Parsons because they need something to talk about. That's not how mediocre his team is right now. They're like distraction tactics.
Well, you miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile.
And
there's an idea, too, that Jerry, we talked about this with Gelb. This was Gelb's theory that he's kind of like slow playing the Micah Parsons deal to try to steal some of the shine from the Philadelphia Eagles, who are going to be getting their Super Bowl ring, or maybe they already have the rings, but they're going to be doing like the whole, ceremony, raising the banner or what have you on opening night. Mm-hmm. Do you realize how lame that is?
I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind part.
Yeah, I mean, it's lame, but it's not out of the question.
No, but it's so stupid. And if you're a Cowboy fan, and if more than that, if you're a season ticket holder, how do you sign off on this with your wallet? Like, that's it. If you got the Super Bowl champions in your division and you're trying to steal the shine by finally signing Micah Parsons, that is the lamest attempt at trying to glow up your franchise. They won. That's it. Case closed. Like, there's no other thing you need in sports, Bogish, besides scoreboard. And the Eagles can point to it, and they demolish Patrick Mahomes. And the Cowboys are here farting around with, we're going to steal some headlines because we're going to sign Micah Parsons before opening kickoff. That is the lamest I've ever heard.
So
perfection.
I don't necessarily agree with Gelb. I don't think that's the number one goal here, because I do believe the people plugged into the league who are telling us that Micah Parsons is legit angry and upset with all of this. So the fight to a certain extent is real here. But what I don't understand is we're going on 2 weeks of this Friday is 2 weeks since Micah's trade demand request.
Yeah.
And they haven't talked. No one's gone, hey man, do you want to trade me? Or hey, let's get back to the table. So that is inexplicable to me, why the team hasn't reached out or why his side hasn't reached out just to even see if they want to restart a conversation, which makes it seem like they know they're going to get something done before week one. So while Micah might be a little insulted now, he's still going to sign when they say the number, and the Cowboys know what that number is, and they're just not saying it.
I mean, how could you even have contract talks when you have a Netflix documentary premiere to get ready for? And that's the
you're in the editing room.
Yeah, with final say.
But you know what I just realized in this conversation when it comes to, because I think everyone's in agreement that you were right, Maggie, that winning is not the most important thing, that this stuff is most important.
It's not even top 5.
But to be honest, the reason why I think is because this stuff is easier. It's actually hard to win a championship. It's very easy to create controversy. Yeah. Literally, Jerry could just open his mouth, say something, and then that creates controversy.
Yeah, we don't even know what it means half the time.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to make sense, and it still works, right? So this is low-hanging fruit. Creating the Cowboys and being a soap opera is low-hanging fruit. Actually building a team that is good enough to win a championship, that is actually the hard stuff. And I think Jerry Jones, in his old age, realizes he doesn't have time for that. He doesn't have the energy for that. He doesn't want to waste his time with that. So he's like, okay, I can't give you a championship, but the box office and not the Oscar, that I can give you.
Yeah,
I can give you Fast and the Furious, right?
Give you popcorn.
I can't give you Citizen Kane, but I can give you Fast and the Furious. I can give you Transformers.
So forget about it.
They're Transformers too. Congratulations, Dallas Cowboys.
It's cheap. It's going for the cheap thrill. You're right.
Forget about it, cuz.
It's the popcorn movie. It's the one that, can be sent out all over the world because you basically don't even need to know what the characters are saying. I'm sure the dialogue stinks.
You know the plot. You don't know
it's just
anything.
villain versus the good guy. That's all you need. It's just cheap, easy, exportable.
No, it's not fun anymore. Not even a little bit.
It's not art, is what Denzel's saying.
So I think I'll give them a little bit more credit than you guys are. I do think you said winning is not even their top 5.
No.
I think it's actually number 2. They're just not good at it. And then they realize that Brian Schottenheimer's their head coach and the roster is what it is and guys are hurt. They couldn't sign this guy. They couldn't keep this guy. They picked the wrong guy. So then they go, we're not that good. I don't think they're not trying to win. I think that they try, they fail, and they go, we're going back to being dopes and saying stupid things and picking fights with people because we got to go, that's our best option now.
No, I can do my top 5 Jerry priorities before winning. I could do that back of the envelope.
Are you kidding me?
What do you think? 888-710-4ISN. While Gordon Damer is here doing updates for us this morning, I will be simultaneously listening to everything that Gordon says and also doing a top 5 things more important to Jerry Jones than winning.
So you're multitasking. And it's so easy, you can kind of have me on in the background.
No, I'm in every word.
Bang them out, right?
Just every word. And also this. It's like a left brain, right brain kind of thing.
All right.
How you doing this
Definitely
morning?
how that works.
I'm good. I should tell you this Sports Flash is sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Protects your small business with affordable coverage options. Get a quote today at progressivecommercial.com. I'm always thinking about money. And that is true, even now.
You and Jerry have that in common.
Yeah. Jerry's far more successful at it than I am.
You got time still. Hold on.
Stir up a controversy, Gordon.
I don't know that I do.
Jerry
I don't
more
know that that's
successful
true.
Jerry more successful at making money. You more successful at being a winner.
I don't know about that either. I will say I have more time left than Jerry. I feel confident in saying that.
Knock on wood.
Don't jinx
Whoa.
it. Damn,
Have you seen traffic out there? Be careful driving. in this city.
We live in New York City.
Nah, I'm fine. What could possibly go wrong?
I'm legally alive.
For Jerry, it's Jerry's world, but for the rest of us, it's the Milwaukee Brewers world, and we're all just living in it right now.
Skeens 3-2. Drilled deep. Right center field. Watch this baby. Way up and out. Goodbye. Oh, what a Bryce bomb that was. Brewers have a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, they were just getting warmed up. That the call on the Brewers radio network. Milwaukee hammers Paul Skeens and the Pirates 13-0.
Oh.
Brewers
The messed up Frankie Montas had a shot in Milwaukee. Paul Skeens couldn't do anything last night.
Yeah, their
Good
11th straight
God.
win. They're the first team in a National League team in more than 90 years to have 2 winning streaks of 11 games or more. First team to 75 wins. Their magic number feels a little early for magic numbers.
Yeah.
Magic number.
37.
We have 7 weeks to go, don't we?
Look, you start rolling the wins like this.
Nah, it's too early. This is the anti-Perloff theory of you're just going to get hot in October. You can't be hot in late July, early August.
No, magic numbers also is a September thing, not an August thing.
Well, it's at 37 right now. But you know what? We're gonna blink, and before we know it, that number is going to be like 10, and we're all going to be panicking.
Fair.
I keep telling my kids the summer's over anyway, so that's why I'm giving you the magic number.
That's what Perloff said.
Just to torture them, you know? Summer's over. Sundown is after 8 o'clock now, or before 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's
I left
all
my dog
over.
in the dark yesterday.
Ooh.
Not
Might as well get your
realizing that
3-ring
needs the lights
binders out. Get your
Yep.
kids back to school.
Trapper keeper, get it ready. Meanwhile, some history for the New York Mets last night.
And Pete drives one to deep right center field, headed back toward the wall. It's out of here! Out of here! Pete Alonso stands alone! The polar bear on his own private iceberg. Pete Alonso, the most prolific home run hitter in New York Mets history.
Yeah, that was Gary Cohen, the call on
Rawr.
SNY. Alonso, the home run there. Mets, not just some history, they also snapped their 7-game losing streak, 13-5 win over the Braves. So Alonso hit another home run later in the game, so now at 252 to move past Darryl Strawberry for the all-time lead.
Yep, new Brewers. That's what we're calling the Mets. They're the next Brewers. This begins their 2-month stretch of perfect baseball. It began last night.
World Series back
You
on.
really
for them.
think that?
World Series back on. All problems fixed last night, except for starting pitching. That's still a concern, but they remembered how to hit.
This
Here we
guy,
go.
this guy's a genius, man. He makes some salient points just to jump on the bandwagon just like that. Yankees are going to win the next 2 World Series after getting 2 wins
Let's
against
not
the Twins.
annoy America talking about the teams in New
No,
York.
I just like Manny. I've chided Manny for this take, but it feels right this morning with the Mets. World Series back on.
He's come to the bright side.
Yeah, let's go.
By the way, happy Spencer Strider, the one giving up that home run to Pete Alonso.
Yeah, take your quads back to Atlanta.
Talks a lot of crap about the Mets. Now you're in Mets history, clown.
If it feels like 252 is a low total for a franchise,
Kinda.
only 2 teams in baseball have a lower total. Anybody want to guess?
Colorado Rockies and the Florida Miami Marlins.
Both incorrect.
Yeah, Colorado, the ball's flying out of the
Right,
park in
exactly.
Colorado. We need we need big stadiums.
Yeah,
San
Tampa-
Diego, stuff like that.
I'm going to go Rays.
San Diego is one, the lowest, 167.
Who was
I mean,
that?
it's huge out there.
I know, but you would figure, it's not like it's not an expansion franchise. Dave Winfield didn't hit 180 home runs? I guess not.
I think the problem is, and it's the Mets issue too, is they have not had a guy that has been there for 15 years hitting home runs.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't pay people for 25 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, and plus David Wright, Alonso should still be chasing David Wright, but
Sorry.
David Wright's career got cut short.
Who was the second franchise?
Diamondbacks. 224, Padres 167.
All right.
23 days until the NFL season kicks off, but who's counting? Jordan Love underwent a procedure to repair a ligament in his thumb. He was trying to play through it, decided to get the procedure. Team says that he is expected to be ready for the regular season. And some good news for Maggie. Wrap things up with some good news. James Cook back practicing at Bills camp. Now, of course, he's been a story because he's been holding in, looking for a new contract. Has not apparently gotten one as of yet. But according to Sean McDermott, things have changed, according to him. Quote, unquote, things have changed.
Yeah,
So
probably the fact that he's under contract. But can he kick field goals is the real question, because his backup, Ray Davis, can kick field goals. No, listen, I'm glad that James Cook is being this cool to the organization.
Go Bills.
Because he could be away from the team completely right now, and I think people would understand.
It's probably a mistake on his part.
Totally.
Yeah, he should be.
They
Micah
literally
Parsons.
drafted his backup. But Cook is really important to what they're doing. So I hope they sign him.
Well, a resolution apparently is not too far off. Do you think by the end of the day we will have some news on James Cook's contract status?
I don't think so. But I will have my top 5 moments from Hard Knocks episode 2 last night, which will come your way in just a little bit. Tough episode.
Oh dear. I mean, I've heard the preview, the trailer for this reaction. We're going to get another deep glimpse into what it's like to be a Bills fan from Maggie.
Wow,
this
really?
morning.
Love that.
Yeah,
Yesterday wasn't bad enough.
the psychosis that
Psychosis.
the brain damage this franchise has inflicted on you people from
my goodness.
1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive Super Bowl losses. It is, you can't get rid of it. It's like Chernobyl. It just lingers.
I feel like I
It's
should
in
be
the water.
when I like when you go to a doctor and you have to do your whole medical history, and it's like, oh, thank God I don't have any of these things. But at the end, they should be like, do you suffer from Bill's-itis?
Yeah.
Like, yes, a raging case.
I think if you're ever on trial for a semi-serious crime, Maggie, you should be able to use this as a defense.
Like an insanity, an insanity plea.
She doesn't know what she's doing. She's a Bills fan. Not guilty.
I do have my top 5 things that are more important to Jerry Jones than winning that I was just able to do back of the envelope while Gordon was doing that awesome update. You ready to go?
Name one thing you mentioned.
The Brewers.
Okay.
Brewers are going to be in every update for the rest of the time. They're so good.
Also, one of my sports minutes for today. Okay. Number 5 on the list of things that Jerry Jones cares more about than winning, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Great show. That Netflix show is gangbusters. Perloff, a big fan. I have not watched an episode yet, but they seem like they actually run well. Number 4, probably one of the many lawsuits that he's most likely facing at any given time.
Okay.
Allegedly.
No, that's not allegedly.
Yeah.
He's facing lawsuits.
I just don't know if I don't know if all of them are currently active.
There's
I don't know
at
if they've
least
all been
one
resolved.
that's currently active.
Yes. Various children may have been out of wedlock, what have you. That's number 4 on the list. Number 3 on the list of things that Jerry Jones cares about more than winning is to make sure the stadium is as beautiful as possible. Because as you'll recall, after daylight savings time, if you have a 4 o'clock Eastern kickoff, the sun is directly in CeeDee Lamb's eyes and nobody seems to care. It's actively hurting the team, but they're like, but Jerry World, just so pretty.
Put some curtains up.
Won't do it. They'll do it actually for other games and other things, like concerts and stuff. Won't do it to help the football team. That's number 3 on the list of reasons things that are more important to Jerry Jones than winning. Number 2 is getting into the Hall of Fame. I said that at the time, no doubt. And the number 1 thing that Jerry Jones values more than winning is just simply attention. So there you go. 5 things. Point out the lie. Cowboys cheerleaders, the lawsuits he's most likely facing at any given moment, the stadium being beautiful, him getting in the Hall of Fame, and just him liking attention.
All in.
Yep.
I agree with all those. I think you're right.
Thank you.
Wait, but he is in the Hall of Fame, right? So is that still on the list? Does that still count?
Yeah, no, but he got in and cares about that more.
Okay.
And I do think
and now it's flexing on Robert Kraft.
Yeah, I think there's something. I don't want to say he's keeping
Kroenke
Robert
and those
Kraft
guys.
out, but I think something's going on there that I think he's invested in.
Someone's keeping Kraft out.
Yeah, and I think he's a part of that in some way. I don't know how. I'm not sitting there saying he's keeping him out, but
No, there's a beautiful mind thing going on
he
here.
likes that, I'm in, and the guy that literally started the last dynasty is not.
Well, just shut up and let me answer.
Nothing will be colder than what Denzel said. It can't be topped.
Been a while, huh? You ain't been to the show. You wouldn't know.
Said Cowboys more box office than Oscars.
What's Denzel pushing that he was on First Take yesterday?
He has a new movie with Spike Lee.
Oh, okay.
That isn't getting a lot of promotion.
Oh, that's right.
Which has been weird.
Didn't he have a slap fight with a photographer, like a can or whatever it's called? I saw that recently.
I feel like that video's been surfacing for years.
Oh, that's not
maybe
new?
Maybe there's a new one.
Okay.
I don't know. But
It's
yes,
impossible
there
to tell
was.
because Denzel doesn't age. So
That's
it
true.
could be from 10 years ago. It could be from this year.
You think football is still fun?
I still think the most impressive thing was that he was able to just turn actor mode on in
Yep.
0.5 seconds.
Been a while, huh?
I
Ain't been to the
was.
show. You
I
wouldn't
mean,
know.
He's on a live show. He doesn't really know what's going to be asked about. And Jerry Jones is like, I can drum it up for this.
Yeah.
Like,
Where's my camera?
yeah. He knew exactly what camera he's on. He doesn't have an IFB in his ear. He doesn't have someone tell him, hey, camera 3. He's looking right like, I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly where to look.
He's just telling the director, don't mess this up.
Basically.
Just follow my lead. It's Denzel, guys. He's like the greatest actor we have ever. Him, Brando,
Bad Bunny.
Brad Bunny, and
Ice
Happy
Cube.
Gilmore too.
Ice Cube in War of the Worlds.
That hypocrite.
It's a hell of a list. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay, that's a little what's going on with the Cowboys and some headlines for you coming up. Matthew Stafford, now just not even practicing. So how is this getting better? We'll get to that next. It's the Maggie Perloff Show. Bogues in for Pearl.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, that's later in the show. Later in the show, I'll give you my top 5 moments from Hard Knocks last night. Episode 2. But for now, let's talk about the Rams, shall we? Because Andrew Bogusch in for Andrew Perloff today. This is very alarming for Matthew Stafford. 36-year-old quarterback. Already we know he got an epidural. The dude is tough as nails, but there's only so much you can do with a back issue as a quarterback. And you could look at it one way and say, well, why does he have to be out there now? He doesn't need the reps, just be healthy. But what makes you think that he's going to be able to last through a 17-game season, on top of the fact that you want him to get some chemistry with Devontae Adams, because that's going to be a big part of the offense? We know he can get the ball to Puka Nacua. That's fine. But to get the ball to Adams and 2 vets, like how much time do they need to gel? It just brings up something where back in the offseason, when the Rams basically told Matthew Stafford, go and see what the market bears.
That was this offseason?
As Giants fans, you may feel like you dodged a bullet a little bit because it was, can we get Matthew Stafford in Minnesota? Can we get him in New York, Pittsburgh? There are a couple teams that seemed very interested. But now, I'm not saying damage goods because we have no idea how the season's going to go, but maybe there was something to the Rams being like, hey, man, go out and try to get the biggest contract you can.
I don't think damaged goods is unfair. I know it's obviously not a compliment to Matthew Stafford, and it seems dismissive or whatever, but he's got an injury that you don't want to have. I mean, we started the show with me kind of dismissing Jordan Love's non-throwing hand injury. There's nothing to dismiss about a back issue. And that's the concern. It's not now. It's not missing summertime reps. It's not week 1. Is that whatever this is not going to be cured. It's not going to be fixed. This is about managing and crossing your fingers and hoping you can get through what they want to be like a 5-month season of football all the way to February. And I just don't think that you can project anything high-end, anything elite for the Rams, because this back is always going to be a thing. This is never not going to be either front of mind or back of mind that it could. Maybe he's never okay. Maybe he's okay for a while. And you're like, oh man, this is great. Why was I so worried? But you can't ever relax from this. It's a bad situation.
Super Bowl's off the table.
It has to be.
And I don't like the reports of he was expected to practice today, and then all of a sudden he's not even anywhere in sight, because that means there is an expectation in the building that he is getting better, and then clearly there's either setbacks or someone else is coming to their senses and saying this isn't worth it. I was very surprised that after he got the epidural and he'd been out for a little bit, that when he did return to a practice, he threw like 60 passes. Now I'm hearing it was more like 70. Feels like a lot.
That was Saturday.
Coming off of this procedure.
Right. And that was Saturday, and he didn't feel right on Monday. So you're always going to be overcautious here. So you can't completely freak out over that. But it's not great that 48 hours later, or a little less than that, he wasn't it was such an issue that they decided he shouldn't go out there. It's just not a good thing. I'm sorry. The schedule also maybe not lining up perfectly for a 36-year-old quarterback with a back issue. Start off the season against the Texans. May have one of the best defenses and one of the best defensive fronts in the league this year. Okay, then you're at Tennessee. Then you go to Philly. Good luck with all that. Indianapolis, then home San Francisco with Joey Bosa. Then you're at Baltimore. Defense that always is scary. Then you got to fly to Europe to play Jacksonville, which is, I'm not an expert on backs, but I doubt, flying overseas and sitting in a seat. It's not going to be middle seat coach. It's Matthew Stafford, but that can't be great for your back either. If he even makes it to Sunday, October 19th.
By the way, Josh Allen Hines, no slouch either.
And he can get to you too. So it's just crazy. Here's another part about Matthew Stafford. We're obviously getting towards the end. I'm not saying that this is going to be his last season or whatever. We're getting towards the end. Is he a no-doubt Hall of Famer? So I thought so. Perloff was the one who originally made this case even before he won the Super Bowl. And I was like, no, Stafford, not a Hall of Famer. Then last year I was like, man, this guy is freaking tough. And he is awesome. Maybe I was too hasty. But I did a little bit of a dive. I think I got to go back to no. Now, wow. Super Bowl champion, two-time Pro Bowler, never been an All-Pro. Never been an MVP. When I went to Pro Football Reference, which is a really great website if you're into any kind of numbers that have to do with any sport, here's where his career stacks up with the most. Donovan McNabb. Now, McNabb doesn't have the Super Bowl win, but played in the Super Bowl. John Hadle, Lions quarterback from a long, long time ago.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Sure.
More like a Carson Palmer, Drew Bledsoe type of thing.
This is their comparison
Boomer
to
Esiason, yeah. Now Boomer won an MVP, but didn't win the Super Bowl where Stafford did win the Super Bowl.
What
now
the
there's
hell
a
was
couple
that all about?
There's a couple other comparisons that are good for him. Terry Bradshaw's one of them is in the Hall of Fame. Eli, I think, is going to get in. But Bob Gracie, there are a couple guys.
So you and I have crisscrossed on this because when this came up after yesterday's show, my first thought is, I'm a small room guy. I think you really got to be in the Hall of Fame to be in the Hall of Fame. And I don't think I need to mention Matthew Stafford if I'm explaining the history of the NFL to somebody who doesn't know football at all, right? But then when I sat down last night, there's a chance if the back is healthy and he puts up 2 or 3 more legit seasons where he could be top 5 in yards and touchdowns all time. He has very impressive postseason numbers on the road in particular.
Yep.
He has the most fourth quarter comebacks of anybody through their age 36 season. And you can make the argument, the usual argument is he was on bad Lions teams and didn't make them better. But there still is, if they're supposed to win 1 game and they won 4, him adding 3 wins is actually a significant accomplishment. It's like a last place person being MVP. So I went in looking for proof that I was right, that he's not a Hall of Famer. And
you got swayed?
I think I did, except
okay,
though.
Hold on one second though. About the years with the Lions.
Yeah.
Those numbers were really gaudy, and he had Megatron who walked into the Hall of Fame, and rightfully so. But when you are losing, trailing, all of those things, of course your numbers are going to look big. Plus, that's the era. I don't know if those numbers are going to be very temporary.
That is the thing that all these guys live in now, is understanding exactly the value of these bigger numbers because of the way they play offense in this league now.
You can't touch guys anymore. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Little Matthew Stafford coming up. Check him with another QB.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
If you haven't heard the latest, Jordan Love undergoing surgery for a torn ligament on his non-throwing hand. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray. Andrew Bogish in for Andrew Perloff today. It's not what you want. I mean, you could say they avoided a worst-case scenario. Yeah, there are worse things. Guys get carted off the field. There are really serious injuries, Bogish. But, to be honest, you don't want your quarterback dealing with anything. And while they are so confident that he's going to be back for week 1, everything's going to be fine, you still are dealing with the effects of something on your hand. So when you're under center, when you have to protect the ball while you're running, there are other reasons why you use the non-throwing hand. Add in the top 4 wide receivers are all banged up. You got 2 big pieces on defense that are banged up, and it just feels snake-bitten right now for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, big picture, it's not great to add another injury to anybody of importance to their report. But small picture, in a vacuum, by itself, this is a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. If Jordan Love's going to get him hurt in early August and hurt his left hand. I just, that to me, maybe I'm over-rationalizing it. It's not nothing, but it's also not something that I think is going to define their season. I don't think it's even going to define their September.
Well, I wouldn't be so optimistic on that. You come out of the gate playing all these division games are going to be really important in the NFC North, right? Yeah. I mean, even if I'm expecting maybe the Vikings, take a little bit of a step back with J.J. McCarthy, I do think the Bears are going to be better. And the Lions have 2 new coordinators, but they also were the number 1 overall seed in the NFC last year. So let's give them a little respect. And you start off the season hosting them, then a short week, you got to play the Commanders. It's just, it's not ideal, as they say. And just to say it's not going to matter at all, I think would be premature. You can tell us what you think at 888-710-4ISN. But Jordan Love is not the only question we are asking about the quarterback. Manny, hit the music.
It's great for the NFL that you have great quarterback play.
Finding the right quarterback can change your franchise forever.
Can you throw it like a quarterback, third in the line?
32 teams, each with just one signal caller.
It's my quarterback.
Maggie and Perloff answer one big question about the quarterback.
All right, EJ is going to set us up, and we'll knock it down. What do you got, EJ?
Okay, so we're going to the NFC South, and let's start with the reigning division champs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is Baker Mayfield going to go down as the greatest Bucs QB of all time, and is he on a Hall of Fame track?
All right. Oh, man. It's a big meatball. So, obviously, Tom Brady is the greatest Bucs quarterback of all time. Is that who he's chasing, I would assume? And Tom Brady wasn't even there for very long, but obviously, the team had not even been to the playoffs in nearly, 15 years, and he took them all the way to the Super Bowl in his first season, and then actually won more games in the second season, but ended up losing the divisional round to the Rams, which would have been an all-time Brady comeback, yet another one, but Matthew Stafford staved him off.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
A platypus.
Okay.
Because I have the eye of a tiger.
Jameis is also up there, right? As far as great quarterbacks. I think in order to top Brady...
All
right, got it on the Jameis. Even though Brad Johnson also won a Super Bowl for the Tampa Bay. Brad Johnson also won a Super Bowl. That team, that Bucs team under John Gruden is remembered as being led by the defense, all-time great defense. All those guys are getting into the Hall of Fame, and rightfully so.
Bucs are good at having quarterbacks who are known for being quarterbacks for other teams. Because Doug Williams is a Buccaneer quarterback, but I don't think of him first as a Buccaneer.
No. Think of him first in Washington. Why? Because he won a Super Bowl there. So I think Baker has a chance. I think he's chasing Brady. I think we'd all say that,
yes.
Right? He's got to win the Super Bowl. Now Baker could be there for the next 10 years, maybe more. Maybe he is only remembered for the Bucs and never remembered for the Browns. But he's got to be there 10 years. He'll probably hold most of their passing records. But if you're asking me who is likely to get a statue outside of the defensive players from that Super Bowl team in 2002, 2001, 2002, whatever, it'd be Brady.
Let me begin by being very nice to Baker Mayfield. This is a tremendous story. This is a guy, this is not a straight line from college, number 1 pick, Heisman Trophy to now. Multiple teams, Is he good? Laughing stock. Stop making commercials. You're not that important. Now he's in Tampa Bay. He has found the right spot. They have found their quarterback. I do think he's going to, unless they get stupid and argue over money, he's going to be there for a long term. He will be the best quarterback in franchise history if he gets to a Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
If you get me there and then you own all the records and you've been there for, 8, 9, 10 seasons, I can twist my brain around. Well, we can't give it to Brady because he's New England. Like that, he's the Patriots.
Well, he's only there for 3 years.
Right.
But he made a huge impact in a short amount of time.
No doubt. And so, but I think just getting to the Super Bowl, not even winning it, just getting there, plus all of the numbers, would make him the best quarterback in franchise history.
Yeah, I think you got to win one because it's not like the Bucs have never won. If there was a franchise who had never won before and you get to a Super Bowl, like you do it in Buffalo or Minnesota or something like that, you're like, just getting there feels like the accomplishment, Detroit, something like that. I think Baker's got to be held to a higher standard simply because the Bucs have won. They have tasted this. Their fans know what that's like. I don't think you get a statue outside the stadium if you don't win.
See, and because they've won, he's not there to end one of the real droughts or the one that you manufactured to fit your take for this year.
Yeah.
So it's okay to, in a weird way, if he falls short because they already have the titles. And the most recent one was won by a guy who was a mercenary.
Yep.
So I think that's why, to me, if he just gets there, getting there is because in the game in and of itself, the Super Bowl, a lot of different things happen that are not your fault.
Yeah.
So, but you get there, that's his accomplishment. Getting them through an entire NFC, you get to the game, and then you've got the yards, the completions, the touchdown records for the franchise. And probably if he's there and he's playing like this for another 5, 6, 7 years, he's going to have a significant lead in all those categories. That to me is enough to outweigh all the Brady stuff.
Can I just make a point on Brady with Tampa Bay? But the question's about Baker Mayfield. Will he go down as the greatest Bucs quarterback ever? And then also, is he on track for the Hall of Fame? Can he get in the Hall of Fame? We'll get to the Hall of Fame thing in a moment. But one thing about Brady that I feel like you said he's a mercenary, and you're right about that. However, I feel like the vibe was Brady chose them, right? Like Brady also... Not just that he chose Tampa. Now, I don't know how many teams actually were in the mix for Brady, which sounds so stupid now that we know how great he was in Tampa. But he chose them. He was all in on Tampa. It never felt like a cash grab. He was still taking way less money to go there, which I think does matter in this. And Tampa is where he solidified that he was the bigger deal in the dynasty than Belichick, right? This is where he put himself over the top, over Bill. It was a really robust debate. We can still have it if you want, about who was more responsible for the dynasty, Belichick or Brady. And Brady ended that debate in Tampa. So I think his Tampa years are more than just mercenary. It's not just like Darrelle Revis, a year in New England wins a Super Bowl and then you never see him again.
Sure, but the Bucs to me are a secondary player in him validating himself outside of New England. That's about him and his legacy and his resume and the head-to-head with Belichick. I don't think the Bucs get points for that.
Oh, interesting. Okay, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. I think they do. They were a sleeping giant of an organization, clearly, and Brady saw that. So the question, though, is about Baker Mayfield, and will Baker go down as the best quarterback in Bucs history? Obviously, he's got to stay there the rest of his career or, next 7, 8 years, whatever. Then is Baker a Hall of Famer? So that's interesting. And I think where you first started to hear a little bit about the Hall of Fame was last year when he threw 41 touchdowns, because there's only been 18 times in NFL history that's ever happened. And the guys who have thrown 40 touchdowns, Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, Kurt Warner have done it multiple times. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, now Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow can hit the mark. Matthew Stafford did it. You're putting yourself in some really, really amazing company there. But if you go to, again, I referenced it before on Pro Football Reference, similar careers right now.
Yeah, I was
shocked by this.
The answer is no. He's not a Hall of Fame. He's not even on a Hall of Fame track in my mind.
No, his career right now tracks most closely to Jay Fiedler, Teddy Bridgewater, Colin Kaepernick, David Carr, Marcus Mariota, Kyle Orton, Trubisky.
I mean, that
doesn't feel right to me.
No, that seems like that tool needs to be
Updated.
like reformatted or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
like let's run that through a couple of different things because that doesn't make any sense. That's not fair to Baker either. Now, maybe it's because it's only been the last couple of years in Tampa where he has been an above-average quarterback. And I think Mike Sando from The Athletics on the show about 2 hours from now talking about his annual QB tiers. And I think Baker's in the second tier now.
He is.
So he hasn't been this Baker Mayfield for long term, which is maybe why that computer is spitting out almost comical names, some of those guys. So that will certainly change and improve. But I just, Baker's going to, hopefully for all of them involved, he's going to be a Bucs Ring of Honor guy, and he's going to have all the records, and he's going to have a legitimate conversation and a legitimate chance to be the best quarterback in Bucs history, but he's not a Hall of Famer.
Jay Fiedler is a crazy name.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that when I saw it on Pro Football Reference. And I should say it was 40 touchdowns plus 4,000 yards passing. You had to put those two together. Just want to make sure I'm right about that. Can I add one more thing here for Baker?
Manny says no. Manny's done.
All right, well, I'm going to do it anyway.
All right.
How old do you think Baker is? Don't look.
32 years old.
He's just 30, but I was actually a little surprised. I was like, man, Baker, I in my mind, he's still like 28. 30, I know quarterbacks play a long time now, but he's a little bit smaller. Are we sure he's going to be a guy who's playing into his late 30s and still being effective? Like we said, he's got to be there for the next 10 years, 7 years. Are we sure Baker Mayfield's playing until he's 36, 37?
Yeah, I mean, I get the concerns, but I also think that this is what he does. Like, there are guys who I feel like they already have the exit plan in mind. Like, Baker, to me, is a guy that you're going to have to, kick out of off your team. Like, dude, okay, we get it. Like, he'll be on different teams. Like, if, Unitas as a whatever, he'll be, Namath as a Ram, right? Like, he'll be one of those guys just finding a jersey to put on because he just wants to
Joe
be out
Flacco.
there. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Two questions. Well, we're asking one question a day about every quarterback room in the NFL. Today is about the Bucs. Will Baker Mayfield go down as the greatest Bucs quarterback ever when all is said and done? And is he a Hall of Famer? You can weigh in 888-710-4ISN. I have the Bucs winning the division again this year.
Would that be 5 in a row or 6 in a row?
Hold on, stand by.
I think 5 in a row. It would be 5 in a row.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4. This would be the 5th. Going back to Brady's. When Jameis Winston was the quarterback, they came in mostly in last place.
I think sounds about right for Jameis.
He was mostly blind, right? For the first half of the time. I was like, I needed contacts.
The horse is prepared for battle, but victory comes from the Lord.
Oh, Mike Evans isn't blurry anymore.
I know people think that, I don't know, the Falcons? Michael Penix show?
That's the other team I think that you would hope at some point, but it's one of those things where I don't know if the Falcons are ever going to be a thing.
The Panthers have some juice, not to win the division, but I think
Penix.
Yeah, as enticing as that is, Bryce Young. I think the Panthers maybe have something cooking. Not for this year, but I know, and Perloff does not believe in Bryce Young.
No, he doesn't.
I believe in Bryce Young at the moment. I think last year was significant for them. But again, everything is year to year, but no matter what, the Bucs are the easy pick to win that division.
Sorry, we were talking about Baker Mayfield, but I really think Brady might, I don't know if he'll get a statue, but he might get something outside of that stadium.
Can I ask you guys something? Because I was thinking this yesterday while you were talking about this. You guys asked the statue question, like every stadium has 8 statues outside of them, and that's not.
Have you ever been to Staples Center? You can't even walk without tripping over a statue.
Crypto.com arena.
But that's a basketball arena, too.
So,
there's nothing outside MetLife Stadium. 2 teams play there. Hell no.
Well, you gotta, be better. No, Eli's gonna get a statue. Don't worry.
No, but I don't think statues are made as easily as you guys think they are.
No, they're easy to make. You just gotta want it.
Feels like a recency thing though, where they are making more statues now than they did. Like I remember when the Jordan statue happened. I feel like it was a big deal. Now I feel like every year there's a statue unveiling. Literally every year, sometimes every season, there's a statue. Like, winter, here's the
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade. Oh, well, summertime, here's the next football one. Like, I just feel like every season now there's a statue being unveiled.
So the Brady statue was unveiled over the weekend. Is Belichick getting a statue?
No, not as long as Robert Kraft.
Right, because they don't get along.
Yeah, which is something. I don't know if a head coach should ever get a statue.
Oh, I don't mind a head coach statue, like a Vince Lombardi. I mean, yes, you have to. I mean, it's Belichick.
He may be the only guy for me.
I don't know
if Lombardi has a.
There's no Bill Parcells trophy statue anywhere at the Meadowlands.
All right, wait. Coaches who have statues. Well, does Spurrier have one?
Tebow has one.
Right, I think Spurrier's on some
No,
kind of
I want,
poll.
but I need a targeted search here. This needs to be in the NFL.
It's AI overview.
Oh, wonderful.
Hold on.
This is about a 35% hit rate.
I know. Hold on. I hate doing this stuff on the air.
35% gets you in the Hall of Fame in baseball.
NFL coaches who have statues.
Yeah, I don't think there is one.
Paul Brown?
I mean, well, they named the stadium after him, so I guess that.
Not even name a stadium.
But he also
anymore.
was the owner, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like
Browns. teams have.
Wait for the Bengals. I'm sorry.
Rings of honor. There's a Packers Hall of Fame. I just was sitting there yesterday here, and you guys were like statue this, that, and I'm like, I don't think there's that many statues floating around. I don't think there's like they're just firing those out left and right.
Well, at Miami University, they've got the Cradle of Coaches. Sean McVay's got a statue there, but it's for college.
And that's unnecessary.
Don Shula, as he should.
Right.
Has a statue outside of Hard Rock.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that it? That's
the only guy, though, right? I don't think Lombardi has a statue. I don't know if there are statues outside of Lambeau Field.
I'm trying to remember. I've been to Lambeau, and I took the tour, but I don't know if I remember there being a statue on the outside.
I don't remember either.
There is the Cradle of Coaches Plaza at Miami University in Ohio. Has Paul Brown, Weeb Eubank, Ara Parsegan, Bo Schembechler, and John Harbaugh. Yeah, and now it's Sean McVay.
If Red Auerbach can't have a statue, then to me, like, no one can have a statue.
I'm looking at the Vince Lombardi statue outside Lambeau Field.
There is one.
I feel like I'd seen that in my mind's eye.
Another Fordham guy.
Oh, of course.
What an hour. Denzel in hour number 1. Lombardi here now number 2.
St. Francis prep grad, too, by the way.
Oh, watch out.
I am all for coaches getting statues. I don't understand why we wouldn't.
I think you guys are too eager to give out statues.
That, and I also feel like when I think of a statue, I think of like this triumphant athlete who went into the battlefield and put his body and life on the line for, victory. And the coaches are super important.
Especially the NFL.
Yes, I am a coach guy. And people know I want to fire and hire coaches left and right all the time. I just feel like when I think of statue, I just think of valor in a way that has to be athletic. That's why I would not give a coach a statue. They could have something else. I can name a stadium after them. I can name a field after them. Like, we'll see if Coach K is going to get a statue outside of Duke. They named the floor after him, right? So, I don't know. Like, I feel like there are other ways to honor coaches.
You don't get a statue. You don't run out on the gridiron every day.
Like that's why I feel like it shows, yes, valor and heroism and all that, but it's also leadership, right? Like the generals get statues, and aren't the coaches kind of that?
I need more.
The generals don't always do the fighting. They're the ones who are doing the game planning, the motivating.
They definitely smoke dodge for sure.
It's good to be the boss.
Wow. You guys are throwing generals under the bus? Are you guys joking?
No, I'm not throwing under the bus. I'm saying that's why I think coaches, generals, George Washington dodging the smoke.
Hey, Mr. Patton. You pansy.
In the battlefield. So what else is it?
I think the idea is they've already done the smoke, and now they're in charge because they were really good at fighting.
That's so funny. Poll question. Did George Washington dodge the smoke?
We've been asking that question since 1776 around here.
It's the Jordan LeBron of if there's history talk radio.
I'm still stuck on why does Sean McVay have a statue anywhere right now?
The Red Hawks, baby.
That's actually kind of wild.
And, how dare Miami, the cradle of coaches?
It's some good coaches.
Who's in there?
I just said.
Did Sean McVay go to Miami? I don't understand.
Yeah, Miami University. You guys don't know about the Cradle of Coaches at Miami University?
No, of Ohio.
Miami of Ohio.
I'm not a statue guy.
They've had great enough coaches to have a Cradle of Coaches?
I just named them all. Paul Brown, Weeb Eubank, your Jets.
Oh, okay.
Ara Parsegan. Anyone ever heard of the Notre Dame?
Well, no, because I'm thinking people, those guys coached at Miami.
No, they went there.
No, that's fugazi to me. You have to
They're alum.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count. They should just have, they should be a Ring of Honor or a Hall of Fame. You're not a you're a great coach for our school when you didn't coach our school.
You don't think alums get statues other places?
Does Big Ben have a statue there?
No, you have to have done something great there. I don't think you can say, well, after I left here, I went on to do amazing things, and then I get a statue.
I'm trying to think of if this goes to other things. Like, does Mark Zuckerberg get a statue at Harvard someday?
No,
hell no.
Now, if he pays for it, he will.
Well,
makes the right donation.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things going on with. Yeah,
I'm just saying
about that too.
Yay, schools.
Jesus.
But like if you split the atom at Stanford and you go on to have your career in New York City, you don't get a statue just because you went to that college and you did good things, but maybe you didn't coach there?
I mean, okay, Vince Lombardi went to my high schoal. He doesn't have a statue.
Well, that's a you problem.
He's got a plaque. He's got a plaque and like a little bust in our Hall of Fame. Joe Torre, same thing. He doesn't have a statue outside of St. Francis Prep in Fresh Meadows, Queens.
I can't believe Craig Carton doesn't have a statue outside of Nershell High School. Can you believe that?
Honestly, how many high schools have statues? You're asking too much. They don't have that kind of budget.
St. Francis Prep has a statue.
Of who? St. Francis?
Of St. Francis of Assisi.
Well, okay, so you got to basically be. That's a high bar to clear.
You got to be a saint.
Yeah, you got to be a saint.
Got to be canonized or whatever it's called.
I know you can become a saint even now in modern day.
Yeah, you get drafted into New Orleans.
Someone else?
Really?
Yes.
That was a
really?
That was Mraz level.
I don't know what the criteria is.
Get me Nico.
I don't know what the criteria is to become a saint.
You have to have like 2 miracles associated with you.
Here comes the private school guy.
Yeah. I mean, she asked a question. I'm just answering it.
Yeah, showing off your brains.
How do you prove a miracle?
Well, that's where things get a little. That's where the gray area begins. It's like, I said a prayer and your cancer went away. Like, did it or did the medicine do that? Like, it's a weird,
You can claim to cure cancer?
Well, this was where my doubts in
easy.
Yeah,
careful. Overall beings. I
don't want you to get struck down by lightning. We still have to.
Yeah, you and Gordon are on thin ice this morning.
I don't want you to lose your job at your private school.
Oh, that's where this comes from.
Fordham needs a miracle. Sorry. 888-710. You set it up. 888-710-4476. Let's get off this, but we are asking you today one big question about the quarterback. Baker Mayfield, will he go down as the best quarterback in Bucs history, and is he on a Hall of Fame track? Coming up next, we have lots to do, including some crazy allegations flying for one college quarterback. Could he find himself in some hot water? And I have my top 5 moments from episode 2 of Bill's Hard Knocks last night. Maggie Perloff Show. Bogish in for Pearl. Football.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Staybill. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Staybill. Visit
Well, the match was set, the crowd poured in. Daly versus Rube, and we all smelled the wind. The band was tuned up, the mics were on, but old Peter Bellotti was nowhere to be found. We checked the lot twice. No car, no coffee, no bag of ice. Just an empty chair where he ought to be, while Daly served aces on live TV. Light never clocked in, not then, not now. While Daly was waiting and the crowd yelled, wow. The first set served to the last sweet swing. Bellotti missed the whole dang thing. Yeah, the lights were bright and the banjos played, but Bellotti took another workday holiday. The backhand sailed, the crowd went wild. Daly high-fived every mom and child, but the victory song had a verse cut short, cause Bellotti still hadn't shown up to court. Maybe he's fishing, maybe he's asleep, maybe he's lost in the Costco meet. But one thing's sure, as the southern sun, Bellotti's work streak still stands at none. Bellotti never clocked in, not then, not now. While Daly was waiting and the crowd yelled, wow. The baseline grind to the trophy shine. Bellotti missed it for the 89th time. Yeah, the drinks got poured and the guitars played, but Bellotti took another workday holiday. Will the legends grow and about his great escape? He's Houdini with PTO drapes. Some say he'll show when pigs take flight, but till then Pete's off every night. Bellotti never clocked in, not then, not now. While Billy was winning and the crowd yelled wow. From the first lap cheer to the final scene, Bellotti was gone like he's always been. So raise your glass to the man MIA. Bellotti's taking one more workday holiday. Bailey's got the trophy. Bellotti's got the day off again. Well, the match was set, the crowd poured in. Daly versus Ruben, we all smell the wind. The band was tuned up, the mics were on, but old Peter Bellotti was nowhere to be found.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Perloff Show. Andrew Bogish in for Perloff. Got into a question about whether coaches should get statues outside arenas, especially in the NFL. He's asking if Belichick's going to get a statue now that Tom Brady has one, but it looks like he and Robert Kraft might be on some. Might need to patch a few things up. Kevin is in Dallas, wants to make sure we didn't miss one. Good morning, Kevin. How are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Maggie?
Doing great. What's up?
All right. I just wanted to bring up Tom Landry. Tom Landry has a stadium outside AT&T Stadium for the Cowboys.
He's got a statue, and doing a little more, not just, quick research. Kevin, thank you. Appreciate you calling us out on that. It looks like Vince Lombardi, we know, Tom Landry, and Don Shula. You got a couple owners like Jerry Richardson, Art Rooney, and also Lamar Hunt. And then after that, it's players, and then from varying degrees, like the Tom Bradys and the Ray Lewises, but then also Pat Tillman, Steve Gleason, guys who have contributed in other ways, even though they weren't the best player on the team.
Jerry Richardson commissioned a Jerry Richardson statue.
Oh, yeah. I think when he still owned the team.
Yikes.
Dan Marino has a statue. Peyton Manning has a statue. So I think we got to embrace, I want more statues.
Yeah, it's like you guys have investing in the, I don't even know what that
bronze.
is. Yeah, the bronze market.
Shh. Don't tell anybody.
Take off.
Okay, before we get to Gordon's update, quickly, I'll give you my top 5 moments from Hard Knocks last night, episode 2. It wasn't that great of an episode, so I'm going to go through this stuff pretty fast. One also receiving votes.
Oh.
Again, I'm going to go through this quick. HBO in a fun kind of cinematic way. If you like the show White Lotus, which I did like, it's kind of a, fun show at times. They use the White Lotus theme song as they're like plunging into the cold tubs. Cinematic. Very cool. And also, like, weirdly, that White Lotus music always foreshadows something really bad happening. So hopefully that's not...
And Tyler Bass's kick goes wide.
The Bills.
The Bills lose the Super Bowl.
Honestly, there's always a few dead bodies at the end of the White Lotus season. So
Where did Josh Allen's arm go?
I hope that doesn't end up that way. Okay, so that's 6. Number 5 on the list, moments from last night. You got a couple celebrity cameos if you're into that kind of thing. Vince Carter, Josie Altidore are now minority owners in the Bills, and so they were at some fancy gathering drinking champagne.
At Terry Pagula's house.
Yeah, or somewhere, right? Was that his house? I don't know.
I'm assuming it was his house, yeah.
Number 4, we have like the best character, not Deion Dawkins, but it's KJ Hamler.
Yeah, it is.
Now, unfortunately, if they actually have to rely on KJ Hamler for anything offensively, then the Bills are probably in a bad spot. But he's a great personality, kind of stole the episode.
If the next time Perloff's not here, forget me, forget EJ, forget Gail, you get yourself KJ Hamler on that scooter.
Yeah.
Just buzzing in here.
He's got a future in media if he wants it.
He flirts with curse word or two, a little, maybe too much for our boss's liking. But otherwise, he's good.
I mean, Pat McAfee was on the network for many, many years. We can handle a couple curse words.
I guess.
Number 3 was Josh Allen telling a funny joke to the Bussin' with the Boys podcast.
A fun little drinking story that we could hear from Josh Allen that the public could hear, that we could laugh a little bit about.
I actually didn't drink for 11 years.
Okay.
And I turned 12.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Definitely heard that on the farm somewhere.
Process that one.
Yeah. He's a tail of the one. Still processing.
It took a turn after that, though, if I may add on to number 2 here.
It's 3. What's up?
Number 3. Then it got lame. Your quarterback's a super nerd. Which is, I guess,
Thank
is a good
goodness.
thing. He's not going to get in trouble. You have no concerns off field with him. But when he then admits to that he makes he and his actress wife do
they do improv together.
That must be hellacious for her. Imagine if she had to be asked to run routes as KJ Hamler in the backyard for him.
Listen, ain't much to do in East Aurora, New York, all right, guys?
and then they go
I like it.
what's the best role you suggested to her? And he goes, to be my wife, and he puts his hand up for a high five. What a goober.
It's okay. I'll take a little wholesome quarterback. He did say that he has lobbied her to have a cameo in a movie.
Go Bills.
We got a second Travis Kelce on our hands, maybe. Josh Allen telling that silly joke. 2, Sean McDermott calling legendary head coach, should also have a statue, Marv Levy on the phone for his 100th birthday. And he's sharp, and he understood exactly who was calling and what was going on. And anytime you hear Marv Levy, that's great. And then the number 1 takeaway from Hard Knocks last night, episode 2. Terry Pagula, the owner of the Bills, is as far away from Jerry Jones as you can possibly be as an owner. And to that, I commend you, because how Terry Pagula made his money, which is in fracking, I think is a little bit controversial. But he has no clue what's going on. And that's exactly what I want out of the owner. He only cares about the stadium. He doesn't care one lick about personnel. He knows he's got Josh Allen. I don't even think he knows anyone else on the team. Mouth shut, wallet open. That's exactly what you want from an owner. Be as far away from Jerry as humanly possible. Thank you, Terry Pagula.
I don't think I've ever disagreed with you more on it. The dude's in every other scene.
He has no idea who's on the roster.
It doesn't matter. He's sitting next to Brandon Bean. They're scrolling through depth charts. He's asking Sean McDermott about who the number 2 quarterback's going to be. The guy's always around.
Okay, but he has no opinion on whether or not it should be Mike White versus Mitchell Trubisky, and that's exactly how I want it.
I think that might be worse.
Bills fans also, those Sabres fans, they think that Terry Pagula has no idea what he's doing.
He doesn't. It's great. Just stay in your lane. This can't be Terry Pagula breaking news, can it?
It is Bills breaking news.
James Cook?
Really? Got it done?
So,
see, look at that. Not even the end of the day.
Good job, Dad.
James Cook and the Bills reach a contract agreement, according to Adam Schefter, per his agents.
Somebody should let the Pagulas know.
Let Terry know. He's got so much money, he probably wouldn't even miss it.
Give him a couple of hours at least.
He'll walk in and be like, who's that guy again? He had no idea who Joe Andreessen was, even though the guy's
He's
known
down
as
from the street.
Buffalo Joe. Perfect.
James Cook, 4-year, $48 million contract extension that includes $30 million guaranteed.
Fine. Totally fine with that.
Is that less guaranteed than Kyron Williams just got from the Rams?
I believe it is.
Which is a little surprising. I thought people were presenting that as the place where Cook would begin and go north of. I thought, because I think he got 3 years and 30 more than 30
million guaranteed. 33, I thought.
Interesting.
I'll take a look.
Is that guaranteed?
I see 33 with 23 guaranteed.
Oh, okay.
So this is much more in the guarantee.
So, he definitely blew him out the water,
He did better.
All right. The season can commence.
So that's episode 3 of Hard Knocks.
Sure.
Go Bills.
Pagula will not be there either. Well, he'll be there, but he won't know what's going on.
He won't be
No, his wife actually was very, very involved. I found out in the episode last night that his daughter, I think it's Jessica that he's referring to, that a professional tennis player, but maybe he's got another daughter, performed CPR on his wife and saved her life. She had a cardiac issue. Not different than DeMar Hamlin, but the CPR saved her life too.
Yeah, it was Jessica. Yes.
It was Jessica.
I was going to ask you if that was new news, because I had never heard that before. I thought maybe I just missed it, but that's a new revelation.
No, Kim was in really dire shape.
Oh, no, but the specific story of her being saved by Jessica.
I think Jessica had put that out on the Players Tribune, but it didn't really get much traction.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something that Jessica had put out.
I can't even imagine how you get past that. That's such an unreal moment in your life, right? Save your mother's life. And DeMar Hamlin, there was a lot of him in the episode as well, which is touching. Okay, that's it. Let's get to Gordon Damer, who's got the latest headlines.
Well, guys, Paul Skeens, the overwhelming favorite to win the National League Cy Young this season. Last night, he was the latest roadkill in Milwaukee, and he was not the only one for the Pirates.
Here's the pitch. And a high fly ball. Left field. This is way back there. Second deck and gone. A 3-run blast for Andrew Vaughn.
Yeah, the call on the Brewers radio network, so make it 11 straight wins for the Brewers. They win 14-0. Now, 11 is good. If they can get to 12, the Brewers fans can practically taste the burgers. With a 12th straight win, there's a local restaurant chain, George Webb, that gives away free hamburgers if the Brewers ever win 12 straight games. They've only done it a couple of times. The most notable, 1987, the chain, George Webb, handed out over 168,000 free hamburgers.
All right.
And I would think the population has only increased since 1987.
Well, also, it's not even about the burger at that point. It's about you got to get it just to celebrate the streak. So even vegetarians or whatever you have to go.
Right.
I've never heard of George Webb.
I've never either, but apparently they're going to be put on the map here if they can get another win against the Pirates.
Apparently he knows a good burger.
I'm looking at the menu. It looks pretty awesome.
I mean, you really got to screw up they've been in business since 1987, so they have to be doing something right.
Is that the one thing you can't screw up? Burger? People say that about pizza.
Hot dog, you really can't screw up. I've had pizza in Aruba, and it's been delicious. You know what I mean? You can get pizza anywhere, and it's always good. Power pizza.
Anything you can burn, you can screw up.
Yeah.
So hot dog and hamburger can still be screwed up. I think a sandwich can't be screwed up.
That'd be tough.
Like a cold cut sandwich.
That'd be rough.
Sandwich can definitely be screwed up. Soggy tomato, soggy lettuce.
You can cook a hot dog in water. You can cook it in grill. I mean, if you're screwing it up, you probably have larger problems in your life.
Yeah, but if you burn it, nobody wants that.
Some people like it a little bit.
Yeah,
burned.
my wife kind of does too,
like
and I can't. I have to I make her do it because I'm like I don't. It defies all of my brain power to keep it on the grill right now.
You just can't compute.
Yeah.
It's like Jim Nance who takes the photo of the toast,
That's
right?
a whole other
Wherever
thing.
he goes, so they know exactly how dark to get the toast.
Because the same thing. He wants black toast, basically. Everyone's like, this is not how it goes, sir.
How do you like black toast?
I don't know.
I can already feel the aura.
The only thing I like burnt a little bit are Brussels sprouts.
Huh. But not marshmallows on a s'more?
Oh, marshmallows too. Those are two.
Crispy rice and burnt rice. That's pretty good.
Really good too.
Oh, God.
Man, he just got transported to a different dimension.
This is all because of George Webb. Paul Skeens gave up 4 runs over 4 innings. That's the shortest start of his season. It matches it. It was the other one that he had this season was also against the Brewers.
Guy stinks. Trade him to the Yankees.
Exactly. You can't predict baseball. Case in point, the Angels and the Dodgers.
1-2 on Adele, and that's a bouncer on the third base side. It's going to go into left field, and the ball game is over. A walk-off single for Joe Adele.
Yeah, they call on the Angels radio network. Angels beat the Dodgers 7-6 in 10 innings. The Angels are now 5-0 against the Dodgers this season.
That's baseball.
Mm-hmm. Makes total sense.
Meanwhile, the Mets hit so many home runs last night, they ran out of fireworks.
Swinging a line drive, deep right center field, out toward that wall. It is gone! A missile into right center field, a 2-run home run, and history. Number 253 for Pete Alonso.
He would later add number 254, that the call on Odyssey Mets radio. Mets finally snapped their 7-game losing skid. Pete Alonso passes Darryl Strawberry for the most home runs in Mets franchise history, now 254. So the Mets are rolling right now.
For a day.
Just
For
wait
a day.
5 minutes.
Come on. You were speaking it into existence the last hour.
That was last hour. It was
dead.
a long time ago.
Oh, boy.
Those 3 Met fans that we have in studio, Gordon, they are dead on the inside.
There's no George Webb here in New York that would offer. Somebody should hop on that. Mets win 12 in a row.
I think I get free French fries because they scored 5+ runs.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
From where?
McDonald's.
All right, that's a good French fry.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a
you gotta have
quality
that.
fry.
Yeah, every time they score 5 runs, you get a free medium French fries.
Well, that hasn't happened very often recently. So nobody's been eating fries.
Also, the Islanders have a similar promo, but I digress.
Not getting as many as with the Islanders as the Mets.
By the way, I was watching the game yesterday. My fiance very unhappy that the Mets only give out, or Citibank only gives out $2,500 for every home run. Like
To a charity.
Yeah, but they're doing the game, and in the background they have the promo, and Andrea's like they give out $2,500 for every home run. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. She's like, no, it's not. It's
How much should they give?
She said Citibank. They're worth
millions.
Literally infinite money. Give away a lot of money, and I was like, huh, am I looking at this thing all wrong? Like, are they cheaping out on charity?
Yes.
Because every franchise does this. Every has some kind of thing like, oh, we hit this many home runs, this many 3-pointers, or this many touchdowns. We give X amount. But I
plant
guess
a tree.
The amount is small.
But it adds up over a whole season, and I'm assuming they have other teams and other this is one of the many things that they do. They can't give all of their charity money to Met home runs hit at Citi Field.
I mean, but Met home runs hit at Citi Field, what are we talking about?
I think they were on 80 something last night was the number because they showed the guy updating the board.
I don't know. When I thought about it, I tried doing that math. I was like, probably could, I don't know, we got to bump that up a little bit if you're a bank, right?
Well, this is all a tax break. I mean, they have a certain amount of money, I'm sure. And look, I'm not Jerry Jones, as we've already established in the course of the show. But I think that they have a certain amount of money for a tax break that they have to donate to charity every single year. They know this number. They know roughly how many home runs the Mets are going to. They're not doing this out of to the charity of their heart.
No.
I hate to break it to you.
It's charity in name only.
Yes.
For Citibank, it's a write-off. Yeah. What else you got?
How about this? Is this anything? LeBron James and Anthony Davis both shared the same Instagram story on Tuesday afternoon, and it read, "Becoming the best version of yourself comes with a lot of goodbyes." And they shared this post 22 minutes apart. Is that something, or is that just...
It's LeBron James. It's always something. There's no mistakes there.
Right.
Especially with social media.
It's not a butt tweet, right?
No. This is everything. This is for you. About LeBron is super calculated. I thought you were going to say they were golfing together, because I feel like that's the LeBron James now off-season thing is golf.
Sure. It's very addictive.
Yeah, and he has to tell us about it.
Think Davis, LeBron sharing the same tweet about goodbyes.
Instagram post.
Sorry, Instagram.
Yeah, but, I mean, still.
All right, we'll think on that for a second. Right. Thank you, Gordon. Coming up next, one college quarterback forced to defend himself over some pretty steep allegations. We'll get to that next. The Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Will the legends grow? Maggie Perloff on the airwaves riding high. And in the chat, that's Donald Rose, partner. Countdown starts now. Donald Rose got that digital spunk. Cowboy boots on, sipping Red Bull in a bunk.
4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
But the roommate's flankies ran up to score. Then he said, "You got game, my man." They watched on fumble like a backup plan. Now he rides with M&B pride. Infinity Sports, he's the king of the ride. Down, Cowboy. Boots clap loud with the hips on fire. Down, Cowboy. That sports talk spark never tires. Big friendly duck and capless text. Don't in the chat like who's up next. Hold it up. blowing up the phone. Big friendly hit ghost mode, left him alone. Was it a lunch, a call, a plan, a collab? Friendly vanished like a pre-snap nap. But Don, no stress, he's tuned in tight, yelling let's go when the take feels right. He's the beat between the hot mic swings. Talk radio's way Cowboy King. Friendly's gone, Kaplan's crying, Donald's counting, music flying. No control and no shame, just glowing vibes. Donald's countdown rides, keeping hope alive. Countdown Cowboys. So let sports takes through the neon air. Countdown Cowboys. No ghost can hide from the fan. Who cares? Infinity's flame, the YouTube stream. Donald's the DJ in the sports fan dream. Rose, the one in the feed. Kaplan's still waiting. Friendly won't read, but the countdown's live and the Cowboys free. Donald Rose riding with NP. Maggie Perloff. Countdown begins at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Donald Rose, he's live on the line. Every show, every thought, every sports headline. From sunrise takes to the YouTube flow, he's bumping that beat from Infinity Show. Eyes wide open, countdown sound that sends hits deep like a goal line pound. He don't just watch, he feels the track. When M&P speak, he's got their back. Back in the day on the dorm room floor, and Daddy said, Don, you... Oh, yo. L.O. Man, he's got a whip full bass swinging with flair. Behind the glass, he's waving it in the air. That bat's bright yellow, could do some harm. If he's not careful, it'll raise the alarm. EJ sitting close, looking a bit tense. He knows one wrong move could be at his expense. Man, he swings wild like he's aiming to score. EJ...
1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Perloff Show. Andrew Bogish in for Andrew Perloff today and making him feel right at home with a little DMB.
This was the song he was trying to play when the dudes were fighting in front of him and he yelled at him last weekend.
Yeah, Dave Matthews.
Yes.
He kicked the guys out. So we got to get to the story about John Mateer from Oklahoma. And might not be a household name yet. College football fans certainly know who he is. But I think the greater sports public, Bogues, is starting to understand. And this is the wrong way to introduce yourself to a bigger stage. Now, there were some screenshots that surfaced a couple days ago where it looks like he is Venmoing somebody, and the subject line of, like, what are you Venmoing for is sports gambling. Now, a little on the nose if you actually are gambling. But to be honest, like, you have to take these things kind of seriously. Now, Mateer defended himself yesterday on social media saying, the allegations that I once participated in sports gambling are false. My previous Venmo descriptions did not accurately portray the transactions in question. They were inside jokes between me and my friends. I never bet on sports. Goes on to say how serious he knows this is. And I can buy this. I can. There were some other screen grabs where clearly he's joking around about stuff that he may have been paying for.
Right.
And it sounds just very sophomoric humor, which obviously, we
are
revel,
big fan of.
I think he also was a sophomore in college, so he was right on the nose. He's right on the schedule.
I think the question about this is maybe, Mateer, they still have to investigate all this because you got to cross your T's and dot all your I's, especially in today's day and age. What I think is really crazy about what's going on right now with athletes who have gotten involved in these scandals, and we've seen a lot of them in the NBA, is we all acknowledge that this is sort of happening, and wouldn't it be only a matter of time until a quarterback or someone bigger than, say, Terry Rozier, Malik Beasley, Jonte Porter, some of the smaller guys in the NFL, or the NBA, doesn't it feel like it's only a matter of time? It's like we're watching, I feel like it's slow-mo watching the Titanic hit the iceberg. Like, we know at some point someone huge is going to get wrapped up in this. I thought Ohtani was until he cleared his name.
He might have been.
I like to joke about that, but I think
not to get you riled up.
I mean, I think he probably
don't
was
use the
just
past tense.
The victim of fraud. But, Ohtani, like, that was such a huge story, and he wasn't involved in it, thankfully. But it's like we know this is going to happen, and that we almost feel powerless to stop it.
But even Ohtani's story was just about owing somebody a bleep ton of money.
A bookie, yeah.
It wasn't necessarily throwing games. And I think that's where you're going here. Like, that's coming.
Yeah. It's already happened in the past. Like, we know that this exists.
But of significance.
Yes. Right.
Like, you can dismiss Jonte Porter's parlays and whatever because he's not even the best porter.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a time where something of significance with a significant person is affected by this. It's impossible. We can't, once at least in our collective lifetimes, not including Gordon, who might not see Thursday.
Oh, God.
This is going to be a significant, major, exponentially huge story about something being thrown for gambling purposes.
Yeah, by the way, Gordon's fine. He just was tempting fate, saying he thinks he knows he's going to live longer than Jerry Jones.
He started it, not me.
Okay. Here's
I don't know about that.
Michael Porter Jr. I want to play this clip because he was on the One Night with Steiny Pod.
Huh? All right.
Sure.
Sign me up.
So his brother has obviously, been lifetime ban of the NBA because he was manipulating his prop bets. He was taking himself out of the game. Here's Michael Porter Jr. explaining why some NBA players might consider engaging with gamblers to help friends. And just keep in mind, we're talking about college football now. Could you not see a college player doing something like this?
You get mad at these dudes that do the sports betting, but think about if you could get all your homies rich by telling them, bet $10,000 on my under, this one game I'm gonna act like I got an injury and I'm gonna sit out. I'm gonna come out after 3 minutes, and they all get a little bag because you did it one game. Like, that is so not okay. But some people probably think like that.
Yeah, the temptation definitely there. Now that's highly illegal, and his brother found that out because his career is over. But
him saying that's not okay was like you saying top wins his loss again.
Yeah, it's a valid point, but it reminds me of like the Tim Meadows OJ SNL skit. Like, if I did it, here's how I would have done it. Like he's rationalizing away what his brother might have done.
I get it, but this is when I think about John Mateer, who I don't think was doing anything. I do think the Venmo stuff was a joke. It seems like a joke, although they need to look into it. But I think I would expect that more from a college kid than I would even from an NBA bench warmer. Because even the NBA bench warmers are making some serious coin. We know that the college players, Bogues, do make money now, but not all of them. Not all these guys are making SEC quarterback money.
Right, but also if you're going to bet $10,000 on the Florida A&M quarterback to do something, that's going to raise one of the red flags that perplexes Manny so much.
Are you perplexed?
Like, who made the call? Who called them out? You're always asking who's the person, who's the whistleblower.
24/7 perplexed mood.
That's just a state of being for you. Coming up, the great debate. Stay tuned.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Blue Bloods. Best evers. History. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Still on vacation for a couple more days. Andrew Bogish hanging out today in the co-host chair. And, you know, Bogues, we talked to Andy Staples yesterday on the show, and it was the college football Blue Bloods. And it just got us thinking about Blue Bloods in general and who really deserves that title. So with that, Manny, let's hit the great debate music.
The Great Debate Series.
You suck, Bogus.
For a second, I thought Perloff was like on line one.
You suck.
Oh, you guys all heard that?
Yes, that went out over the air.
I just hear that every 90 minutes or so.
You suck, Bogus.
Yeah, I know.
So today's great debate, who is the greatest of the Blue Bloods? Who is the bluest of the Blue Bloods? Any sport, any continent, this is open to everyone and everything. Why are you laughing?
We should have done who was the best Danette.
No. It's not a contest. Okay.
Congrats, Paul Pabst.
So the question today, the great debate, who is the bluest of the Blue Bloods? Again, inspired by us talking to Andy Staples yesterday. He had 12 different college football Blue Bloods, which we thought was a little rich. He had a formula for the whole thing. But Blue Bloods in general taking center stage. So, Bogish, I'll hand it to you first. Who is the greatest Blue Blood of any sport of all time?
Well, this is a little personal for me because my grandfather was one of the people the person that really introduced me to sports growing up. So this comes from him and how I spent a lot of Saturday afternoons with him watching Notre Dame football.
Got it.
I mean, aside from the trophies, the titles, the statues of head coaches, there's the Golden Dome, there's Touchdown Jesus, and there's movies. Rudy's made about Notre Dame football. Not about Alabama football, not about Texas A&M football. Rudy is about Notre Dame football. They are the standard bearer for college football. So I'll give you Notre Dame as the bluest of Blue Bloods.
Rock, someday when the team's up against it, breaks are beating the boys, ask them to go in there with all they've got. Win just one for the Kipper. I don't know where I'll be then, but I'll know about it.
Coaches, philosophers, Knute Rockne, come on.
Manti Te'o.
Yeah.
Wasn't Ronald Reagan in that movie?
That is Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, that is Ronald Reagan, right?
Yeah.
That got him elected president and other things.
Ronald
Notre
Reagan,
Dame.
the president?
Bluest, is he the bluest of the Blue Bloods? That's our great debate for today. I think that if I went up to any random sports fan on the street, even a casual, and I just say, who's a Blue Blood? And it was just quick, like Billy on the Street.
I love that show. I was going to say, I love Billy Eichner. Anyway.
He would never ask this question, but
He would not.
Miss for $1.
You'd also get Blue Bloods like
Stop,
CBS
guys.
answers.
Stop. You're distracting
Donnie
me.
Wahlberg.
I can't get to a sentence with you guys. Sheesh. If you just gave somebody, just quick off the top of your head, Blue Blood in sports, you say Duke University.
There's a miss. You got the look. They got a chance. He lets it fly.
Man, what a national treasure. Dick Vitale, that was a Jeff Capel buzzer beater at Cameron Indoor. And while North Carolina maybe has been around a little longer and North Carolina maybe has won a little more, Duke, to me, embodies what it means to be a Blue Blood. Number one, you got to have just the history, that making 3 Final Fours even in the 60s. But then since the 80s, this has really been the program. And that's when it's not plumbers and firemen. You know, you're not going back to guys dribbling with one hand. You know, since the 80s, basketball has been pretty modern. So I think it's the sustained success in an era that we all agree upon is more even. more National Player of the Years than any other program, more weeks at number 1, ranked number 1 in the country than any other program. The highs have been high with the 5 national titles. They've competed in 11 national championship games overall. And I think you need to have a little bit of for blue blood, it's got to be a little, I don't say arrogant. It's got to be a little like, I'm better than you. It's got to be a little,
it's also going to cross over into like pop culture. Like there are going to be programs, football, basketball, and college that maybe have one more than our selections, but like Notre Dame, Duke, like those are the T-shirts that people wear in shows, and they become reference points for culture.
It's arrogance. You have to have a little arrogance to be a blue blood, and I don't think anyone associates arrogance more with a program than Duke University. So for that, I believe they are the bluest of the blue bloods. That's our great debate for today. EJ, who do you have for the most blue blood of I can't even say program, most blue blood sports thing ever?
Entity, basically,
entity.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to the NBA, and when I think of blue blood, definition being a person of noble birth, I want to see a place where the greats play. The greatest of all time all want to go to this one place to play for this one team. And it's not just the greats when it comes to basketball. It's also celebrities. It's also pop culture figures. It's showtime, people.
It's hard for me to believe that I own the Lakers. This is a dream come true. I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is really a big hero of mine.
And of course, that was very exciting for a teenager, as I was a senior in high school. I got to see Elton John and the Eagles, and every kind of event that you could imagine, and going to a Lakers game and seeing Magic Johnson and it was just fun.
I mean, that's what Laker basketball is, right? Yes, it's Kareem and Magic. It's also Elton John. It's the Eagles. It's everything that comes with the glitz and glamour of being a Laker, right? And we did our Mount Olympus series when it came to Los Angeles last month. You could have did a Mount Olympus of just Lakers, just how many stars have been a part of that team, what we think of when we think of royalty, when we think of celebrity, when we think of money. You think Hollywood, you think Los Angeles, you think LA Lakers.
And that is not what I think of when I think of blue bloods. I think blue bloods are stuffy. I think blue bloods are old. I think blue bloods are a little...
You seen Jack recently?
What's that?
You've seen Jack recently?
A little country club?
Man, Jack taking a stray.
Just saying.
All right, we're asking what's the greatest blue blood of any sport at any moment. Manny, if you pick the Knicks, we're cutting your mic.
All right, have a good show, guys. Listen, so you guys mentioned arrogance. Feels as though this team has a bunch of that. You guys mentioned the traditions, championships, things like not having the jersey or not having the name on the back of the jersey, having a rule about beards. I think one of the bluest blue bloods in sports is the team that has the most championships here in North America, and that would be my beloved New York Yankees.
Guys, Dick Young and all those great writers sitting there in front of me as though I was going to tell them something, a shipbuilder from Cleveland.
It's important to me, it's important to all of us, and it's particularly important to New York and to the Yankees that the group that gets behind the Yankees at this point have the wherewithal and the interest to get the kind of job done that the sports writers, that the fans, that the city and the media in New York deserve.
Glitz and glamour of New York City, sometimes some dysfunction thanks to George Steinbrenner, but you know what? Those New York Yankees, they've got 27 titles. I'll go with the Bombers.
All right, we're asking what's the bluest blue blood in sports. Finally, Gordon Damer, you get to take us home.
History, cultural impact, global brand. You mentioned old, stuffy.
Yep.
And an arrogance that is not deserved, at least not recently. It would have to be America's team.
Their record is envied, and their innovations copied down to the last glamorous detail. They appear on television so often that their faces are as familiar to the public as presidents and movie stars. They are the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
And you think about it, they were like the first, at least in my eyes, team that was viewed as a brand, as a product. The cheerleaders, America's team, Thanksgiving Day games. And I think the fact that they've not won recently actually kind of accentuates the point because they're still relevant. They still move the needle. People still care about the Cowboys. I mean, we're talking about them today, right? We're talking about them all the time. So I would say blue blood, old, crusty, arrogant Cowboys.
There you go. All right, what say you, America and Canada? 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. What is the greatest blue blood, or who is the greatest blue blood in sports, period? Doesn't matter what sport it is, what league it is. Now, I think EJ's of the Lakers is the one that kind of sticks out to me. Because when I think of a blue blood, I don't think about glitzy and glamorous. I think about old school and kind of like straight and narrow, if you will. Like, to me, the Lakers are flash, showtime. Very different from Notre Dame, or I pick Duke. You know, there can be stars and there can be star power in blue bloods. You certainly need that. But there's something about like country club versus nightclub. And I think blue bloods scream more country club. Lakers, to me, scream nightclub, even though I know they've won so many titles.
But it feels like playing for the Lakers and being a Laker is almost an exclusive club in itself. Because think about the names that have been there in terms of the greats.
Sure.
Your Kobe's, LeBron's, Kareem's, Wilt's, Jerry West. Like, it is the greats of the greats. Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe. Kobe.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think of blue blood, I think of who are the guys that are out there, that inner circle Hall of Fame, so to speak. And you could literally point to one franchise and have that. You have that with the Yankees, too. But I look at that, and I think of America, part of the culture is glitz and glamour. I don't necessarily remove that from blue blood
But
status.
if you're doing NBA, we're asking what's just the greatest blue blood of all time, regardless of whatever sport. To me, it's Boston Celtics, actually. That, to me, feels a little more like a blue blood, where Lakers, then they were kind of like the opposite, right, of each other. It's like one's about glitz and glamour, the other's about like Northeast, cold weather, hard nose, whatever, what have you. And I think that, to me, the Celtics actually feel a little more blue blood when it comes to the NBA as opposed to the Lakers. But that's kind of my read on it.
So, I mean, EJ and I shared a brain on this. The Lakers were my first thought.
Really?
Yeah, because, I mean, you jumped into the text thread right away with your pick. And then
I picked Duke men's basketball.
Right, so that came off the board pretty quick. I knew Manny was going to do the Yankees or the Knicks or the Yankees. So I knew that those were not possible for me. So my next thought was Lakers. My mind went to the Lakers being the most famous NBA franchise. And you're right in that they don't meet the blue blood definition like in the dictionary. But I think they're the most famous NBA franchise. The Celtics might have more titles, whatever, but the Lakers, because of they were this institution, and like EJ said, like you wanted to go there. That's what makes to me. I think I'm more confident in Lakers than in Notre Dame football.
Even to get to crypto or to sit front row at crypto, you can't even just be rich to do that. Like you got to be famous to do that, right? Like to me, like it's exclusive to even be in that building, which speaks to that exclusive club blue blood status.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. We're just doing great debate today. Greatest blue blood ever. You know, it's funny that Notre Dame's the only college program, and Gordon Damer picked
football.
Yeah.
You picked Duke.
No, I picked Duke. Yeah, sorry. Football program, college football program. Gordon picked the Dallas Cowboys. I actually think the Steelers feel a little more blue blood even than the Cowboys, but they're all, and the Packers would be number one, I think, on my blue bloods for NFL.
Mike T is the man.
But tell us what you think. It's a really hard definition. Manny, I'm sure there's a soccer franchise that deserves to be here, and I think that there's hockey for sure.
Yeah, the Canadians
are the blue bloods.
My second thought was Real Madrid, and it pains me as a Barcelona fan, but I mean they've won so many Champions League, and it feels as though Real Madrid is just always at the cream of the crop when it comes to European soccer.
Let's go to Mike in Syracuse. Got another college team. Mike, who is the bluest blood of any program or any entity in sports?
Well, I think you have to just go to the UConn women's Husky basketball team. They're just so dominant. And I think when you think of blue bloods, you think of they get whatever they want as far as recruits. And it's like, all Americans throughout their lineups. I mean, that just is the definition for blue blood for me.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, on the women's side, no doubt, UConn, it's funny, we have a debate often about whether UConn on the men's side is considered a blue blood, or are they even too recent. Now, we're all getting a lot older, and, these championships were won, 30 years ago. When it comes to women's hoops, I actually kind of think blue blood is like LSU, Tennessee, I guess in UConn.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I don't know how much difference there actually is in the two words, but there seems like a lot to me between blue blood and dynasty. I mean, UConn women's basketball is the dynasty, but women's college basketball wasn't like a full-fledged Division I sport till I think like 1980. I don't feel like anyone's old enough, has been here long enough to go under the blue blood specific title. Because that, to me, you got to go back. We're talking like mid-1900s. Like 50s, 60s, 70s existence for the most part, like to begin, you got to be old to be blue blood.
Yeah.
And none of the women's programs are actually that old because of how slow we were to make it a full, valid, legitimate sport.
Yeah, maybe it still has a little bit to go. But for the ones that exist now, I would say UConn probably the closest. Again, LSU, Tennessee, and then maybe Stanford, who has a really nice history for women's
They
hoops.
feel like babies in comparison to the other franchise we're talking about, just in terms of simply longevity of existence.
Let's go to, is this Mickey? Mickey's in San Francisco. Who is the bluest blood of any sports entity?
Hey, good morning, team. All of you are awesome. Megan, your voice makes everyone cheer up in the Bay Area. My blue blood is the UCLA Bruins under John Wooden.
Mickey, it's a great choice, and thank you for the nice compliment. And I'll be Maggie or Megan. It doesn't matter. It's a great compliment, and I appreciate you saying it. I think UCLA is also one of the great blue blood college programs. I remind you of Velma from Scooby-Doo. I think that Kansas and Kentucky also belong here, and of course North Carolina. I'm going to cringe at hearing myself there. But to me, Duke, there's something about the arrogance of Duke, right? That creates this blue blood feel. We're in the club, you're not. This is attainable. It's not for you. And I think that has to be like there's a pompousness, I think, about Duke that separates it from and makes it the bluest of the bloods.
I mean, they'd be insulted that you've made room for other possibilities.
Right.
How dare you, Megan?
Megan, 888-710. That's fine. He was saying a very nice thing about the show. 888.
You're definitely not a Megan, though.
I'm not?
How's Megan?
No. You're definitely a I still can't believe it's not actually Margaret.
Margarita, actually.
That's why it's not Megan.
I'll take Margarita.
I'll take two of them.
It's only 8:15 in the morning. That works.
Sure, Margarita's open.
Mm-hmm.
5 p.m. somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or 5 a.m.
I could be Megan.
No, you're fine.
Magatron. Doesn't really work. Well, actually, it would work, Megan.
It would work better. Okay. Bluest bloods of any sports entity. What do you got? 888-710-4ISN. We have that and your phone calls, along with some very revealing comments from Travis Kelce about what went wrong last season. They were in the Super Bowl. And what he expects to change this year. We'll do that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Podcast drops later today.
I can't believe you don't like her.
It's not that I don't like her. It's just
them. They're so
Listen,
in love. It's so sweet.
Fine.
Nothing else in this world is good. Let them be good.
Sure. They're selling it pretty thick right now.
No, not selling anything. They just love each other. They're having the times of their lives. He's having so much fun. He forgot how to play football.
Yeah, we're talking about Taylor and Travis, and they kind of felt like they were laying low all summer a little bit. You know, Travis was in Happy Gilmore too, but they were kind of laying low. And then here comes the push, as they call it in wrestling. Taylor's got an album that she's got to promote, and Travis is on the cover of GQ. And listen, I'm all for people spreading their artistic wings, and like sometimes you do arty stuff and it comes off looking stupid.
And I'll write your name.
He looks dumb in these photos. I'm sorry. And everyone has one of these. Like I remember those photos of Kobe Bryant, and he's like all wearing white, and it was like Alex Rodriguez staring at himself in a mirror, like kissing himself in the mirror.
Oh my God, that was one of the worst things ever.
Magazines,
the Blue Bloods right there.
Magazines can get people and athletes to do really things outside of their comfort zone. I don't understand. Like, somebody come get your boy. Like, where's Patrick Mahomes?
Where's Taylor?
Where's Jaxson?
She's signing off on this stuff. Like, the one thing about Kelce, we all know that he wants to be an action star or TV star or whatever he wants to be, but there was like a down-homeness about him that we liked. It's part of Taylor's brand, too. I'm from Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm from New Heights. I'm from outside of Cleveland. This GQ thing has lost all tether to that. Like, it is so overproduced.
Oh, be nice.
And
one
silly
is better
looking.
than the next. Like, is it a joke or is this real? Like, because it's that over the top. It's either the most ludicrous, artsy failure ever, or he wants us to laugh at these things.
You jabroni!
I think that's the other part. We always were kind of winking a nod with Travis Kelce. Like, I'm in on this. I get it. I'm part of this to me was way too serious looking. I don't know.
He's holding an alligator. What's serious about this?
Arrowhead my ass!
I'm going to need your specific take, though, on the level of chest hair involved with Travis Kelce.
That's
Is it
all
really?
good. Yeah. No, keep that, guys. Don't wax it off.
Sounds like this guy. Sounds like somebody over there waxes his chest.
No, I don't have anything to wax.
That's tough, man.
True confessions, guys. Line up.
You ever heard
Shirts
of puberty?
off.
Try hitting it, man.
I think I still have time.
Yeah, maybe.
Be weird, but no, that the chest hair stuff is fine. That's all good. Travis is a good-looking guy. It's not about that. It's about he looks silly in these outfits.
It's about the chest hair for me.
It's about the.
You're jealous.
No, I actually don't. I don't want this level of chest hair.
With his shirtless scene in Bad Bunny, in Happy Gilmore 2, that was actually one of the things that stuck out to me. Like, damn, this dude is hairy.
Well, if you're going to go goats of chest hair for professional athletes.
Sure, go ahead. I'm listening.
Number one, far and away, Pete Sampras. Are you guys not familiar with his game?
Yeah, he played tennis, right?
Pete Sampras' chest hair, look it up.
In fact, here's my computer. It's bookmarked.
Here's the wallpaper on my phone.
Here's my internet search history.
I got many shortcut keys just
Fine.
to Pete Sampras'.
I'll Google it.
No, I'm not even saying I like that necessarily, but Pete Sampras, this is like known for this.
Well, he's a Greek god too. But Pete Sampras, this seems to have been gardened. Travis Kelce's out of control.
It's fine.
Nah, it's too much for me.
Men and women are looking at
Not
different
my
things.
style.
I'm looking at his outfits, just like, what's going on here?
I'm looking at his chest hair.
You can't not see it.
Pecs are right there.
What's hairier, the chest or the fur coat that he's wearing?
Is he wearing a coat?
In one of the pictures, he is.
All right.
Or is that just his chest hair?
Can we do the 5 goats of sports chest hair?
Please.
Think about this.
I don't have this list handy, so
John Stockton.
You can go first.
I got to think a little.
Austin Wells is a hairy-looking dude. I don't know about his chest, but he just looks like he's hairy.
He doesn't belong on this list.
Carlos Boozer.
Well, he doesn't have any hair on his head.
Oh, he has a lot of hair on his chest. I'm looking at the picture.
We should maybe do a little transplant.
Is it as dark and dense as the beard?
Honestly, kind of. This isn't artificial, though.
I think there's former teammates in Carlos Boozer's beard. That thing is insane.
Yeah, it's real thick. Like James Harden looks at it and is just like jealous.
Yeah, a shoe marker on top of his head.
Jeff Teague, the wordsmith.
Yeah, a shoe marker on top of his head.
The great debate today is what is the bluest blood
Who has the
sports
best
entity?
chest hair?
Yeah, that's for next week. We stumbled upon something. Kelce,
save that one for Perloff.
Kelce hovering around the top 5. The chest hair is not the problem. It's the rest of the GQ spread. He looks insane. Looks ridiculous.
But the clothes he gives back to the stylist, and he never is Crocodile Dundee 3 again.
To be
the
honest,
chest hair's going home with him, Maggie.
To be honest, no man ever looks good in the GQ spread. None.
Really? Caleb Williams looked great in his.
I think the fashion in all of them looks insane. And rappers always talk about this.
Yeah.
If you ever want to make fun of a rapper, just any famous guy, they probably have a GQ spread. Like the Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole GQ spreads look insane. Like insane. And it's like, why would you do this to this person? I think they're supposed to look bad. I don't know. It's
No.
crazy. Oh, you got to see those pictures.
I believe you.
In the background, his
It's-
mic's not even on.
It's supposed to be aspirational, I guess. And I think guys are like, if you're getting a GQ, yeah, because the clothes are so expensive. If you're getting a GQ spread, you are at the top of your game. You know, you probably feel like you're untouchable. You know.
I'm watching Kendrick Lamar in a suit that looks like it should be fitted for like a toddler. In a polka dot shirt.
Travis Kelce is swimming in the bayou in a fur coat. He looks like a fool.
Right, I think they all do.
hairy-chested fool.
I feel like I don't know what it is. I feel like when women have GQ spreads, their fashion is a lot better. I think the GQ men, whoever's doing the GQ men, they don't know what the hell they're doing. Look at this. This is ridiculous.
It's more of a visual. Man, he's holding up his phone.
Trying to show it to us.
That helps.
We're 25 feet away with 2 panes of glass in between us.
Man, y'all need some better eyesight.
The
Get younger.
Need a bigger
great
phone.
debate
Get younger.
today.
Get an iPad.
The great debate is what is the most blue blood entity in sports? All sports, doesn't matter. Quickly around the horn, Bogish went with Notre Dame. I went with Duke basketball. EJ went with the Lakers. Manny went with the Yankees. And Gordon Damer went with the Dallas Cowboys. Mike's in Vancouver. Mike, who do we miss? Michael. I got to put you on hold. Russ, California. Russ, what did we get wrong?
You guys left off Alabama football under the Nick Saban era.
I don't think it has to just be Saban. I think that's what makes it a blue blood, Russ. I think you go back to Bear Bryant. Alabama, certainly a college football blue blood, no doubt. Is it the bluest of the blue bloods of all sports? You could certainly make an argument. But I think Notre Dame gets it for college football, even over Alabama.
I'm excited to hear what Jim in South Carolina has to say.
All right, Jimmy, you're up, pal. What do you got?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more because, Maggie, because as I've talked with people, as I've asked people, hey, what's your one dream destination to go watch a college football game? Everybody says Notre Dame. They want to go see the campus. They want to go see Touchdown Jesus, First Down Moses, the Grotto, everything. And so there's more than just the history and tradition of the football there. It is the campus itself. It's the history. And so hands down, college football, Notre Dame.
Yeah, Jim, if you're lucky enough to go to Notre Dame, I've been there a couple times. It lives up to the hype. It is spectacular for sports fans. But if you're asking me the place I'd most like to go watch a game, I don't think Notre Dame is going to be number one, but it is beautiful and very impressive to be on that campus.
It's a great call, Jim.
But the stadium is like not. It
Yeah,
feels kind of older. There's
right.
not like it's not a lot of bells and whistles. If you're asking me a place that I would love to go watch a game, then I got to go Death Valley, LSU, something like that.
Give me the Rose Bowl, the actual Rose Bowl.
That's it.
Go to Pasadena.
Yeah.
Been
Beaver
there.
Stadium, baby. No, don't yuck my yum.
Going to, but it's not my number one.
Those are great.
Exotic Pennsylvania.
Oh, absolutely.
The Nittany Lions, bro.
No, I'm aware, but you and I are going Rose Bowl because of the mountains and the sunset in
There's
California.
mountains at Penn State College.
Not the same.
When the most exotic thing on the menu is peach ice cream, maybe you could spread your wings a little bit more. But
Sticky
Gordon,
buns, Maggie, come on.
I'm sorry, Gordon Damer is here with all the latest headlines. What's up, Gordon?
Well, good news for Maggie, of course. We talked about it earlier. He held out. He held in. James Cook cashing in. Running back worked out a new contract extension with the Bills today. Reports are 4 years, $48 million, $30 million guaranteed. That comes one day after he returned to practice after a 4-day hold-in. Is that what you call a hold-in, a held-in, whatever? Resulted in the running back missing Buffalo's first preseason game. Cook was in full uniform yesterday, participated throughout. Of course, held or tied some team records last year, 16 rushing touchdowns in 2024, fifth in yards before contact per rush at 3.1. So he's very happy.
Yeah, to me, this is just not the time you start messing around with weapons on the offense. It's not like they have a murderer's row of wide receivers. They're expecting that Keon Coleman's going to take a big step forward. I have no idea.
What do you mean?
You don't want to take weapons away from Josh Allen. It's just not the time to do it. You're in your window.
Yeah. Jordan Love, surgery on his thumb, non-throwing hand, expected to be good to go for the start of the season, but certainly not what you want to hear with 25 days to go before the season opens up. Then you have Najee Harris, still recovering from a fireworks incident. I didn't want to call it an accident. I think when fireworks blow up near you, I don't think that you get to call that an accident anymore.
Was he holding the fireworks?
I'm not sure, but it resulted in injury. I think that's part of the deal when you're around fireworks.
I love that take.
Yeah.
Like you're putting yourself
right. You always see
near.
the headline, man dies in fireworks accident. You find out he had the fireworks on his head. I don't know if you can say that's
What's the Chris Rock line? The tiger went tiger?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But Harris is starting to ramp up. He took part in drills yesterday with the Chargers. He injured his eye in that. Up until yesterday, though, his activity at camp was walking with a weighted vest while wearing a helmet.
By the way, weighted vests now, all the rage in suburban America. If you guys haven't gotten on board with this. Every middle-aged woman's walking around with a weighted vest.
Really?
Yeah.
I got one.
I saw a guy at a high school recently doing that. I didn't think it was Najee Harris, but who knows? This guy might be taking over as running back for the Chargers.
You have a weighted vest?
I mean, it was one in the house. I use it.
I used to train with a weighted vest.
Do you find that it's helping you lose weight or whatever you're trying to do?
No. That's a no.
Looking like my brother over there.
Yeah.
Easy.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
Well, I don't know. I'm not saying you have to lose weight. I'm saying why else would you wear one?
I do have to lose weight. I do wear one. I haven't lost weight. I don't know if the vest is to blame or like the.
Well, are you wearing
my
the vest?
lunch choices?
Are you wearing the vest?
Yeah, I put the vest on and then I get on the treadmill.
Wear vest.
Well, I say you do stuff though.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't
You
know.
put on the vest and take a nap.
Oh, I still eat like crap. That's the problem.
No, but I mean, some people like you saying just walk around in it. Like I think like
No, I don't live in it. I put it on for like the 30 or 45 minutes I'm on the treadmill.
But you're working out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's something. If you're just like I used to train in a weighted vest. Like so, like if you're doing something with it, it should work in theory.
I don't
Use
think he
the
puts it
vest
on.
to cover your mouth in the course of the day.
Then you won't eat.
Then you won't eat, and then you'll be good to go. 2 birds, 1 stone.
There was a while in my life when I was working out with one of those boxer sweatsuits. You guys seen those? It's like trash cans,
Yeah, I know what you're
basically,
talking about.
but they're like elevated. And I would work out in them, and you look so ridiculous, but you sweat like crazy. Now, here's the issue: you got to clean it. So you turn them inside out, hang it up in your shower, spray soap on it, and then rinse it off.
That's too much work. Yeah.
Too much.
I'll just
Then I
stay
turn
chubby.
it back inside in, go to the next session at the gym. I start really working up a sweat, suds coming out the bottom onto my shoes. I knock out all the soap off.
Mommy, why is that woman sweating soap?
True story.
Baseball, Dodgers have some company atop the NL West as the Padres won last night. Dodgers lost again to the Angels 7-6. They've now 0-5 against the Angels this year. So the Dodgers and Padres now tied in the NL West. Is this cause for concern for LA, who was the team to beat coming into the season, defending champs?
I feel like they're going to turn it back on.
I just like the commercial for no salary cap. The Yankees stink, the Mets stink, the Dodgers stink, and the Brewers spend like $7 and they're 31 games over 500. We don't need a salary cap. We just need better teams, better organizations.
Yeah, no team on pace to win 100 games this year, right? I mean, the case for parity is this year in Major League Baseball. Brewers.
That's baseball.
Yeah, the Brewers won their 11th in a row last night. No stopping them. Beat the Pirates and Paul Skeens 14-0. And for Bogusch, the Mets finally snapped their losing skid. 7 in a row. That's done. They beat the Braves 13-5.
New one starts tonight.
You're back on the
This guy's
alternating
like
hours.
crazy.
It's crazy.
Let's check in at 9:30. See how I feel then. They still stink, and I refuse to be Manny, who just rides the roller coaster.
Well, look,
they win, they're back.
They're not going to hit
instead.
6 home runs every single night, and the
Probably
fact
not.
that the pitchers can't get through the 5th inning, even in games. It was Naya the other day. Clay Holmes last night wasn't great.
Thank you, Gordon. You can go vote right now on our poll. What is the greatest sports blue blood? Options for you: Duke basketball, Notre Dame football, the New York Yankees, the Dallas Cowboys. EJC, you left the LA Lakers off this. There's only 4 spots in the poll.
This was the hardest one this may be the hardest one I've ever had to do, sort of leaving someone off. So I decided to be unselfish and leave myself off.
No, I said I'm gonna knock your ass out.
I would have voted for the Cowboys to be left off.
Really?
How about do a side topic? Do you consider the Lakers a blue blood program? Because I don't. I think the Celtics fit it more. Too much pizzazz, too much celebrity, too much glitz and glam doesn't mean blue blood to me. Blue blood's like old and maybe a little stuffy.
Kind of like Bogusch.
Just like a little
like
set
Jerry
in your
West.
ways. Set in your traditions. And I know the Lakers have tradition also, and they're one of the winningest franchises in the NBA. I guess I just don't think of them as a blue blood.
Listen, Jerry West is from West Virginia. If he's anything like that Winning Time show, he is not a blue blood. That guy is a lunatic.
Yeah, he's nuts. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-44.
I love the tack on. That guy was a man. Rest in peace, my sweet friend.
Because I said is. I was in present tense, and I remember he passed away, so I had to go to RIP.
He did not like that Winning Time show at all.
Did not.
No, in every way he tried to fight that show showed that he is the madman that they said he is.
That's
He's
right.
like, I will end HBO.
Okay. But here's the thing
I'm
about
coming
it.
for everything.
I understand where the one part he got really upset about was that he was like some sex crazed maniac, right? That was part of the show, is that he was like, I remember one scene where he and some woman like meet at a bar and then they have this like intimate scene.
But
he didn't want that. He's like West Virginia. He's, I think he's more buttoned up.
I mean, I watched the whole show. That was only in the first episode. That's a one-off. Like, that's not his character. His character is just like anger problems. He's just angry and just never happy about anything. Which I don't know. Again, when I watch Jerry West, spot the lie.
I'm sure he liked that.
No, but was there an implication that maybe he was even cheating on his wife? Like, I don't think he liked that aspect of it.
Oh, that I have to remember. I thought there was an issue with it. He was having some kind of marital issues, what they talked about. But it went beyond just like cheating. He was depressed.
Yeah.
Which is what he said. He wrote about it in his book.
Yeah, he did not like that portrayal of himself. But then again, who does? 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. If you have not heard Denzel Washington going hard after Jerry Jones, we'll play that for you next because you got to hear it. Also, athletes getting a little too honest. We love it, but doesn't look so great. Doesn't sound great either. Get to that next. Maggie Perloff Show. Bogus in for Pro.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
On my best chest hair in sports top 5. That's off of Travis Kelce's GQ spread. And the rest of you guys are very into it, even though you're not saying anything right now. We'll get to that. Meanwhile, Michael Porter Jr. So his brother Jonte is one of the people in the NBA who got caught up in a gambling scandal, folks, and very much caught up in the fact that he took himself out of games specifically so some of his props would hit the under. That's highly illegal. He's been banned for the NBA for life. He's got plenty of legal issues now that he has to face. So Michael Porter Jr. is his brother. He's the famous one, the more famous one, who won a championship with the Denver Nuggets.
It's a Brooklyn Net now.
He's a Brooklyn Net now. So here's Michael Porter Jr., and this is where you start to really wonder, like, man, what are guys thinking? Michael Porter Jr. explaining to the One Night with Steiny podcast why some NBA players might consider engaging with gamblers to help their friends.
You get mad at these dudes that do the sports betting, but think about if you could get all your homies rich by telling them, yo, bet $10,000 on my under, this one game I'm gonna act like I got an injury and I'm gonna sit out. I'm gonna come out after 3 minutes, and they all get a little bag because you did it one game. Like, that is so not okay. But some people probably think like that.
Right. So first, he's a little off. You can't generally bet $10,000 on a Jonte Porter under 3.5 rebounds player prop. But the point is there. It's not just, hey, I'm going to hook my friends up by giving them jobs around me or something else. I'm just going to try to do a get-rich-quick scheme where I tell them, hey, I'm going to cheat here, and you can benefit from it.
Yeah. Okay. It's a concern. 100% it's a concern. But the most we can kind of do in these situations is like trust the apparatus, right? And all of these places now, because don't forget, like, we can't be concerned about like what somebody's doing with like an illegal bookie, because we've never known what those interactions are. We're talking now about the ability to pick up your phone, open up an actual app that has your name and your social and your bank account and place wagers. And all of those things have security systems, have bells and whistles, have things figured. Like, this is why we know about the Alabama baseball coach getting inside information. And the problem with Michael Porter's example there is, A, you got to have people like eat $10,000. Well, you got to have $10,000 to bet $10,000 and then win more on that. That's a problem for a lot of people. Then if you're just dropping out of the sky and putting a fat sum of money on a Jonte Porter under out of nowhere, we have to trust that something is going to pick that up. That's why Jonte Porter is in trouble to begin with. So, like, yes, theoretically that could be an issue, but we kind of have proof that guys are getting caught when they do that.
Yeah, I guess
Now he still did it, and it's still like those games still happened, but that should be a deterrent. Like, he didn't get away with it. The other guys didn't get away with it.
Here's more from Michael Porter Jr. saying the temptation is just there for these players, and it's getting worse.
They come from nothing, and
100%.
all their homies have nothing.
100%.
And they're like, bro, if I come out of this game after 3 minutes and y'all all hit on my under, we're all getting a little bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I obviously my brother went through his situation. Malik Beasley's going through a situation right now. Terry Rozier was in some hot water. But the whole sports gambling entity, bro, it's bad, and it's only going to get worse, bro.
Only going to get worse. And it's interesting is you had in college football, the quarterback for Oklahoma had to come out and defend himself to say that, he had some Venmo receipts that were just a joke, that he was allegedly paying somebody, for gambling on
no one's that dumb,
the
right?
subject line.
Cocaine. Like, no one puts the actual thing in the Venmo description.
Anyway, so he had to come out and defend himself.
Pizza.
But you see that this is getting worse, and having a quarterback get embroiled in this, not just some end of the bench, or I guess even Terry Rozier, right, was a champion, but, end of the bench guy or a rotation guy. Okay, here's more from Michael Porter Jr. This is where we're getting a little honest. Is this a different pod?
This is his podcast, Open Mic. Or whatever it's called.
Curious Mike.
Sorry, Curious Mike.
Okay. Michael Porter Jr. admitting that his brother struggled with gambling. He had a different type of struggle.
Everybody has different things that they struggle with. That can go from people that struggle with alcohol, people that struggle with drugs. My brother, for example, struggled with gambling. My vice has always come in the form of women. And when I'm far from God and I'm not in my word, I'm not praying, I'm not prioritizing him, that seems to be the place that the devil gets me, is in the space of women.
Okay. More from Michael Porter Jr. About these struggles.
My brother, Jonte, he never seemed to struggle with that vice. I never struggled with the gambling addiction. I never struggled with that vice. God gave me a lot of money because maybe he figured I could handle it and not, lose myself in that area. And maybe Jonte, he wasn't blessed with tons of money because he struggled with that area of the idolization of money,
I don't know, but
his jump shot wasn't as milky.
Right.
I'm kidding. Listen, he's being very honest here about what he's going through, and I do appreciate that. Saying things like this is going to hit very close to home with a lot of people. If he's struggling with it, anybody can struggle with it for sure. It's a very honest look at Michael Porter Jr.
Yes, I probably disagree with almost everything he's saying about his brother, and it feels like, again, he's trying to explain it away, what his brother did and whatever, but admitting you can be addicted to anything.
Yep.
So I know, and it's funny to go, oh, I'd love to be addicted to women or whatever. But that's a silly thing to say. It's women.
That gets very dark.
Men. It's video games. It's gambling.
It's food.
And right. So there's no dismissing that, and it's good to talk about it, and it's good apparently to work on it and make yourself better. Whatever it is, religion, 12-step program, however you're getting to a good place. You have to hope that someone's in the good place once they realize what the issue might be.
I feel like this delivery could have been a little smoother.
That too.
Listen, man, my brother, he struggles with gambling. Now, me, I get women. Him, he doesn't have that issue.
He's bad at basketball.
Not as good as basketball, not as good as
women aren't into him.
Can't gamble.
He ain't got no bread.
He's not a good mastermind either, criminally. He got caught.
He's broke.
You think it's a sibling rivalry somehow?
He said, the Lord gave me money.
Right, I'm tall, I'm handsome, I can
handle it.
I can handle it. He can't.
Do we get the rebuttal from Jonte?
It is such a brother conversation.
It really is. I'm like, man, by the way, guilty as charged. But Jonte Porter's lawyer is probably somewhere being like, what the hell, man?
Mike!
I can't even build a case now. Yeah, my brother, he's a gambling addict. Oh, he's in a gambling investigation? Oh, whoa. That's still ongoing?
Who's also unsuccessful with the women.
And he's not as good in basketball.
Imagine
Leave the basketball to me.
After hearing Michael Porter Jr. talk about his brother. Imagine I told, hey, man, my brother, he's, gambling issue, no money, women aren't into him. What do you say, ladies?
Hell of a personality on him. Give him a chance. Who is the bluest blood in all of sports? Get to that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Get back to the NFL in just a moment, but want to touch on college for a second. And welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Bogusch in for Andrew Perloff today. And Bogusch, we have not talked about Texas being number one, both the coaches poll and the AP poll. Obviously, Arch Manning is going to get all the headlines, the hype, along with Steve Sarkisian, but this is a very good football team. You didn't need me to tell you that. Now, the one thing about being ranked preseason number one is it's kind of a death knell. Only twice in the 21st century has a team been ranked preseason number one and actually finished this season with the title. It was 2004 USC, which has kind of been erased from the record books technically, but we all watched them win. And then 2017 Alabama, who won that national title. Do you think Texas is more likely to land with USC and Alabama, or are they more likely to finish not as the champion, even though the preseason number one?
Yeah, I guess just like technically speaking, and by the way, I hate preseason polls. Technically speaking, you have to say that they're more likely to not make it. It's just that's what the history tells you. But I guess I'll split hairs and say they're as prepared as anybody to be better, or to hold to that number one. Because even though I have my doubts about Arch Manning, he still is going to be some level of an above-average quarterback. He's got new stars in front of him on the offensive line. That is certainly a concern. But you have to trust the talent acquisition, the talent development. And I think we talked about this last week when we're predicting now, because there's so much turnover at very important positions, you have to almost lean on the head coach and like the overriding program. And Sark is creative. He is smart. He's going to put his guys, especially on offense, in the right position to be themselves and succeed. And I think you have to also understand, and at least that's the way I'm looking at it, is they've learned their lessons the last 2 years. They have gotten incrementally closer, and now it's the time to take the next step. It's different people. I get that. But that's a good head coach quarterback combination to tackle a season.
Yeah, I'm in on Texas, and I want to be more in. The only thing, though, about this year with college football is, and I think both polls, whether you like them or not, told you that, yes, we can identify who the good teams are in college football, but identifying who's the best of those good teams kind of feels like it's anybody's guess. And Texas received the most first-place votes, but not by much, only a couple. When you have Penn State, Ohio State nipping at their heels, Clemson, Georgia, we can go down the list, Alabama, etc. So to me, this feels like a year that's setting up for, yes, we know that there are great teams, but who is the elite of the elite? So if you're asking me what's more likely here, I don't think Texas is going to be dominant enough to give me confidence to say that they are going to be one of those teams like USC in 2004 or like Alabama 2017.
And obviously it's a little, air quotes, easier because with the expanded playoff field, you've got a little more leeway to trip up during the regular season.
Oh, they could lose to Ohio State. It's not going to matter week one.
So they're going to, and because they're Texas, they've qualified for the kind of like under the table bonus in that committee room of like, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Other schools don't get it, but you're one of the schools that would. So, to oversimplify things and use a cliche, they just got to get there. And it's hard for me to think of them not being in the tournament when we get to January. And once they're in there, they got a chance to do whatever they can do.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. The level of confidence that you would have in Texas. They're number one in both polls. And to be honest, like Ohio State, which was 3 in the AP poll, 2 in the coaches poll,
flipping with Penn State.
They've lost some people, and they still have not named a quarterback. Now, whether Ryan Day is just sort of really playing out the string here and taking this as long as he can or wants to, maybe that's more of a smokescreen.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I think you mentioned it last week, that maybe this is just one of those guys has actually separated himself, but they're keeping everybody honest by not saying somebody's the starter for as long as possible. That it's not about, we don't have one. It's they've got one, and they're just making sure that he's as protected, I guess, from the pressure of being the number one guy for as long as possible.
Yeah, that'd be Julian Sayin as opposed to Lincoln Keenholz, who they're both battling it out. You do have other legitimate, well, not that's not legitimate Ohio State, it is, but other really hotly contested quarterback battles going on at Notre Dame and also at Tennessee. We know Alabama's was decided on Monday, where they're going with Ty Simpson.
And not to preach to the choir here, but I remain surprised, and it's nitpicking because they're 2 and 3 in the polls. I still don't know why Penn State's not getting bonus points for bringing back what they're bringing back. In this day and age with no one bringing anybody back, they're walking back in with stud running backs and a stud quarterback. Now, is that some James Franklin hesitation? Is that you just trust Ohio State? But like my first thought is I like knowing things, and I know that Drew Allar can play quarterback on the college level. The draft's a whole other conversation, but I like that they know who their guy is, and he's already been there and played the sport.
Yeah, I don't think Penn State's being disrespected, though, to say they're 3.
Right, it's certainly a nitpick, but they have less roster turnover than the teams around them, and they were even closer to, I think they were closer to Texas in the AP poll than Ohio State was in terms of first place votes. So the coaches seem to have a little bit more love for Penn State, which makes a little more sense to me.
Is Texas doomed to be the next preseason number 1 to fail to make the title game? And the craziest thing about it is this is the first time Texas has ever been ranked number 1 in a preseason poll ever. So that would be not great. You finally reach the top of this mountain, and it actually is a negative.
Yeah, but again, I mean, it's just, we never know enough in late July, early August. I wish we could live in a world where everybody had patience and like gave it a week or two. And then actually, because voters have gotten better in really rearranging the top 25 when they need to. Because for the longest time, it just felt like as long as you win, you stayed where you were. And so like it really mattered where you started because it was easier to defend. I think there's a little more now context put into things and a little more comparison and a little more understanding that, okay, I thought this team was number 7 to begin with, but they're actually, they're fine, but they're not a top 10 team. So I'm going to back them off. Or this team is better than I thought. I'm going to move them up. So there's a little more volatility and I think open-mindedness to moving people around. But like this list still does matter from a starting position. And we just, after that first batch of teams, I mean, you're just straight up guessing.
Yeah. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476 if you would like to weigh in on Texas. We have a couple things also on the burner for you. It is Wednesday, which means we do the great debate. Today's debate is, who is the most blue blood entity in sports? It could be a program if you're talking about the college level. It can be a franchise if you're talking about the pro level. But who really takes the cake as the biggest, best, however you want to say it, blue blood? You can go vote right now on our poll. Give you a couple options here of what we got for you. I went with Duke men's basketball. Bogusch went with Notre Dame football. Manny went with the New York Yankees. Gordon Damer went with the Dallas Cowboys. EJ went with the Los Angeles Lakers. And Manny, it looks like you are in the early lead here. The New York Yankees just killing it in the poll right now. Is the bluest blood ever. I mean,
I know my sports.
When you got the babe, you got Lou Gehrig.
I mean, yeah, you guys, EJ had mentioned all the players on Mount Olympus. I mean, how many Yankee players did you have on your Mount Olympus? How many did Perloff have? I mean, it's the New York Yankees, damn it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, they are the crown jewel franchise in North American sports, no doubt. One of them.
My new Yankee takedown is that the majority of their World Series came before there was free agency and a draft, so they basically like had a monopoly on good players. When things have been designed now for players and talent to spread out, they've been still good, but they have not been.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, the Celtics. How many Celtics championships did they have?
Yeah, I mean, the Canadiens won one because you had geographical rights to players.
Oh yeah.
So they were living in Montreal. Like, you NBA play hockey here? Shocking.
Yeah,
and you're on with us.
Too.
Well, this is why I thought Duke basketball really checks all the boxes of what you want for a blue blood, because not only do they have the earned arrogance that a blue blood needs to have in order to qualify here, and the history, when they really started winning titles, it's all post-1980. So you can say they have the great history, but also we're beyond the plumbers and firemen era. 1980, we're playing actual basketball. This is Michael Jordan's era. Now, I could have went with North Carolina. definitely could have gone there. But I feel like Duke has even more of an arrogance than North Carolina. And they have more national players of the year.
But those other schools actually have history.
No, Kentucky, Kansas, UCLA, no doubt. But so does Duke.
Yeah, but Duke's a baby. Duke's like a teenager to their adulthood.
A bratty teenager.
Yeah.
888
exactly.
710 4ISN.
Isn't that what Christian Laettner was, basically?
Still is.
Yeah, I mean, they made a whole documentary about it. Now, we've also been talking about John Mateer, the Oklahoma quarterback who had to come out and defend himself that some screen grabs of a couple of Venmo receipts that were labeled sports gambling were not actually for sports gambling. We have no idea what they were for, but he's saying it was just inside jokes, yet there has to be an investigation, and I'm sure there will be. Even though, Bogues, it does feel like Mateer was obviously joking.
So, I mean, I'm going to trust him. We've all been burned before. I have a hard time accepting the fact that somebody actually wrote the crime in the Venmo description. But I came across earlier, like a half an hour ago, Joel Klatt, I guess on his podcast, went off on this. And it's a good point. Like, these are things, like, even if he did wager on games he wasn't involved in.
Yeah, one of them says gambling USC UCLA when he's playing at Washington State. Yeah.
So he didn't, this has nothing to do with him throwing games, affecting games he was in. It might have been him just gambling on a game with his buddies. That is technically against the rules. As an NCAA athlete, you cannot bet on any other NCAA sanctioned event. So you can't be a football player betting on water polo, whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not a big deal at all. Like,
unless you have insider information, like, did you play with somebody who may know that someone's dealing with a major injury?
So again, that is a gambling faux pas, right? Yeah. And that might be like a lawyer, police faux pas issue. But like, my concern is always going to be whether the game is valid or not.
Right. You're looking at shoeless Joe Jackson.
Right. So if you did not affect the game, if you didn't check out to keep your under or whatever like that, or you didn't straight up play badly on purpose, if you didn't affect your game, I almost don't care in the grand scheme of things about what you're doing, because the only thing that matters is the actual sanctity of the competition. So Joel's point is this is not worth wasting our time on, because it's just not that big of a deal, and it's certainly not the number one issue affecting the sport.
No, but that's just the one instance of the screen grab that says USC, UCLA. The other stuff, one of them says FIFA. Okay, so it's not
super sports gambling on World
Cup. Super sports
gambling.
I get it. But the other stuff that just says sports gambling, it doesn't say what it is.
Yeah, and again, so the condition is, if we're assuming that he maybe, worst case scenario is he just bet on other things, like any of us bet with our buddies.
But it's going to get him suspended, and and Oklahoma is one of those top 25 programs that's got a coach on the hot seat. I mean, there's a lot here.
And the rules are the rules. So if he did do this, and he's got to miss a game or two, fine. But we don't need to like run the kid out of town. We don't need to spend so much time. Like, I saw people yesterday trying to figure out whether the person that first shared the screen grabs was a real person or not. Like this reporter that nobody could kind of track down. I don't know where that ended either. So, like, I think just the uproar, the energy level maybe doesn't match the potential crime here.
Okay, so for that, though, I'm not going to apologize for people getting up in arms about this, because if this was the first time we've ever even had a shadow of a doubt about something, then okay, maybe, everyone's got to pump the brakes. But it feels like we have one of these types of scandals going on almost monthly at this point, whether it's the NBA guys who are getting in trouble because they're potentially manipulating their unders or overs on props, or whether you have colleges. They went through this with Iowa State, the Alabama football coach. Yeah. I mean, we got one thing after the next.
Dumb Guardian pitchers spiking first pitch fastballs to win tiny bets, maybe.
It's insane.
And those are the ones we know about.
And that's an all-star closer in Class A.
And all of those things were happening for weeks, if not months, before we knew about them. So, there's things in the hopper now that we don't even know about.
Right. So that's where, when I get the calm down crowd, I'm like, no, I'm actually not going to calm down. Maybe John Mateer has nothing wrong, and hopefully not for the Oklahoma fans. But I can't just, stick our head in the sand and be like, well, nothing bad happened. It's like bad things are happening. You just have to hope that the DraftKings and the, FanDuels are actually catching them. Right. Let's go to Nate, who's in Iowa. Nate, what do you got, sir?
Well, Maggie, I think you really just touched on what I was going to say, and I think you're already talking about it. There's people sticking their heads in the sand on this. You mentioned the Iowa State scandal that happened last year here. Quarterback years ago got busted for betting $7,000 on games. If you think $7,000 is all that college players are betting on, you talk about the Blue Buds. That's just in Iowa. You talk about Texas, Ohio State. Some of these $1,000 at these.
We're losing you, pal. You're going in and out of the back roads. Maybe we were losing your connection. But yeah, it feels like it's everywhere. Now, Bogus, to your point, we have more mechanisms in place to catch guys now. Like, nobody would have caught a Jonte Porter for the Toronto Raptors under 3.5 rebounds with suspicious gambling activity maybe in the past. Now that's going to flag something. Everyone who lost money on that would get their money back. All of the stuff, it will be rectified. And Porter's gone forever.
Yeah. And you, like, part of us has to just trust that those safety nets are catching the large majority of these. Partly because computers and whatnot are that smart, and also people doing these things aren't that smart. Like, you need to do like the Office Space idea where you're taking like a penny out of every transaction, like
rounding up to the fractions.
Now they did they put the decimal in the wrong spot, and that's why they got in trouble. But you can't walk in and go, here's $25,000 out of nowhere. I got a hunch on this. Like, you're going to get burned like that.
888-710-4ISN.
I don't mean to give advice to criminals, but you also got to be smarter.
888-710-44.
Spoken like a criminal.
Yeah.
76. No, I think you can definitely mollywop anyone who says, ask you if you have a case of the Mondays.
Mollywop?
Isn't that what they say in Office Space? Has anyone ever asked you if you have a case of the Mondays? Oh, guys.
No, I don't remember mollywop.
Did I not say that?
Now? No, it's not 1954.
All right. Coming up, we're going to talk a little quarterback tiers. And how did an MVP change tiers in the last calendar year? We'll explain what we mean next. Maggie Perloff Show. Bogus is in for Pearl.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff Show. Perloff still on a well-deserved and earned vacation for another day or two. Andrew Bogish sliding over to fill in for him. And this is one of my favorite preseason articles of the year, Bogues. I set my calendar to it. It's Mike Sando's quarterback tiers. And I find him fascinating because he's surveying all the, decision makers and taste makers, if you will, in the NFL to come up with these tiers. And Mike's joining us now from The Athletic. He's a Hall of Fame selector. He's a AP voter. He does all the things that determine how legacies get written in stone in the NFL. So, Mike, thanks so much for the time. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's so good to be back.
I know. Thanks so much for doing it and getting up early because I know you're on the West Coast. So let's start here. Lamar Jackson won 2 MVPs as a tier 2 quarterback, finally gets bumped up to the tier 1, if I got my facts right there. What has now made Lamar a tier 1 quarterback?
Well, it's a big relief to me, believe me, because I had to be the one trying to explain this for the last few years. But in seriousness, for a while in his career, first he came in, he was a great runner. He was not a great passer. So passing is what gets you the most respect in the league, whether it's from opposing DBs or coaches, GMs, whatever. Then for a while, there was this huge gap between what he did in the regular season and in the postseason. You could even make the case for a while that he kind of imploded in the postseason, and it almost exposed that gap between the rushing and the passing. But I think the last couple of years, for sure, they've shifted to passing the ball in their offense a lot more and more effectively. And he's been awesome. And in the playoffs, by the way, it wasn't him. He put the ball there and Mark Andrews dropped it. So there's no longer that gap. And I think last year was so impressive because their defense and their special teams, which were always kind of stalwart and really underwrote a lot of their success, fell off a ton. And guess what? Lamar Jackson was winning shootouts against, Joe Burrow. And so I think he really took a big step firming up last season that he's not just a great talent, but he's a great quarterback, and he can do it without the support from the defense that he had before. So he doubled his number of tier 1 votes. It was emphatic. And I thought it was a really well earned by him.
So this is coaches and GMs improving their opinion of him. Do you think fans might follow along here? Because Lamar still seems to me to be like the leader in detractors among social media folks and fans among the elite QBs.
Yeah. Well, I think for all of these guys, I mean, you could say that about Dak Prescott. And the reason is they haven't done enough in the postseason. Justin Herbert, right? These guys get docked if they haven't pushed deep enough or made it to a Super Bowl. I think it's really hard to do, obviously, in the AFC to go all the way because there's a guy in Kansas City named Patrick Mahomes, who's a unanimous Tier 1 guy, multiple years, who's a little bit of a roadblock. But I think that's sort of the next step for whether it's Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, any of those guys, is just get to a Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. The conversation will change even more then.
Mike Sando is joining us, got his quarterback tiers from The Athletic. Quarterback tiers, and Matthew Stafford jumps up a tier. Lamar Jackson, not the only one who jumped from Tier 2 to Tier 1. Stafford did it as well. Now we know he's dealing with a back issue. And, Mike, not to surprise you with this one, but since you are a Hall of Fame selector, have you thought about Matthew Stafford and what kind of a case does he have for Canton?
I have thought about it, and I think for him, continuing to play actually helps him as long as he's still good. For some of these guys, if you hang on too long, we almost have to remember how great you were before. But I think in his case, winning the Super Bowl and having this team in the mix for multiple years, I think there will be a conversation. Now, the Hall did change the criteria to make it harder to get in. It's a little bit slipperier now. I think they felt for a while, and we heard Deion Sanders complain about it, there was too many people getting in. They may have overcorrected. It's hard to get in now. So this year, it's going to be a fairly easy class, I think. I think Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, some slam dunks are in. But Stafford's probably one of those guys who has a much better case than he had before, but will still have to overcome the high bar, which is harder to get in.
Mike, I'm not sure I know how it got harder. What specifically now is working against guys like Stafford?
Yeah, they made it they changed the math so that there's a threshold, a high threshold, like 80% of the committee has to, say yes to each guy at different stages. And the problem is they cannibalize votes from each other. And so, like this year, it really hurt the coach. The coach committee had put up Mike Holmgren, and it looked like he was going to go right in, and he missed because there weren't enough. The votes are getting split in a different way, and so it's harder.
Yeah, Mike Sando's joining us from The Athletic. He's got his quarterback tiers. Now, you mentioned Dak Prescott. Tier 2 is where he lives right now. I'm curious, what do the GMs and the coaches and the tastemakers in the NFL, what do they see that have him nestled in between Baker Mayfield at 11 and Jordan Love at 13?
As I wrote in the piece, could anybody benefit more from a deep run in the playoffs that they just haven't had? And now it's kind of known that, Dallas has the longest drought of getting to the championship game in the NFC of any NFC team, going back to way before Dak was there. So I think he could really use that. Now, last year he was injured. So that probably hurt him. But we forget the year before he was, I think, second in MVP voting. He's always gotten, he has 19 votes in Tier 3 out of the 50. That's a lot of people who think he needs a lot of help to win. And so if you look at the last few years, not last year, but the few years before that, they were pretty good on defense, special teams, and still didn't push through in the playoffs. So I think he bears some of the burden of that, and it shows in him having a good tier rating, but not really up there, among the elite.
So, Mike, Jaden Daniels debuts in Tier 2, which I guess has never happened before. Are you surprised by the immediate respect he got from coaches and GMs?
I would say no, because he made that push to the championship game in the NFC, did not have a top 10 defense. I think he had a bottom 10 defense. So, plus just the poise. I think he really showed a lot of people. So there have been some guys who've debuted in Tier 2, but never this high. And so I think in 2021, Justin Herbert set the record since I've been doing quarterback tiers starting in 2014. CJ Stroud came along and smashed that last year. Then regressed this year. And now here comes Jaden Daniels smashing the mark that C.J. Stroud hit. He had 17 votes in Tier 1. As a general rule, though, I think people in the league want to kind of see a second year. I think there was a good quote in there saying, hey, check back middle of next year. All the defensive coordinators will have had their shot at him, and we'll see if they have a better plan and solve him a little bit. But all the vital signs there look really, really good.
Mike Sando joining us for just a couple more minutes. He's got his quarterback tiers out right now in The Athletic. And, Aaron Rodgers, always a lightning rod, drops a tier. Now down to tier 3. There's a big split here on whether or not he can, be Brett Favre in Minnesota, which I know is kind of like the pie in the sky. But what are the GMs and coaches saying about Rodgers now with Pittsburgh?
Yeah. So he got votes in 4 different tiers, which is really unusual. Usually, there could be a split among one tier, but when you're in 4 different tiers, it probably means that the Steelers may get 4 different tiers of him this year, right? I mean, he's 41, but he could be healthier than he was last year, another year removed from the Achilles. But then you're looking at he showed up in June. He doesn't have a bunch of receivers that he's on the same page as. He doesn't have an offensive coordinator that he spent a lot of time with. Strong personality with Rodgers, strong personalities with DK Metcalf, Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator. There's some real potential for volatility there. I would think, though, that if he can kind of make it through the season and just find his bearings on a team that's going to play defense and try to run the ball, I mean, he's certainly going to upgrade what they had before. Maybe he gives them a chance to win a playoff game. It's just hard for me to see it pushing a lot deeper than that, just over the attrition of the course of the season with a guy who's 41.
Mike, there's a lot of younger guys living on that tier 3 with Aaron Rodgers. Anybody in that group on that tier that you think is primed to move up into next year's tiers, next year's rankings?
Yeah, it sure seems like Bo Nix is on his way. And you could make a case that he maybe should have been higher than he is when you look at where Jaden Daniels is. I thought one of the most fascinating quotes from somebody that I talked to was, hey, the order of the 2024 class is not set. Jaden Daniels looked great, but these things change. If you go back to 2018 class, it took a while for Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson to emerge. Early on, Darnold was ahead of those guys after a year, right? So it takes time. And could this come down to, this was the fun part, could this come down to a little bit of a competition between the quarterback development skills of a Sean Payton in Denver with Bo Nix and a Cliff Kingsbury in Washington with Jaden Daniels, 2 good young prospects. So I'd really watch for Nix this next year.
Mike, how you didn't have Shador in here anywhere is, I'm surprised any editor let it get through without the obligatory Shador Sanders take.
Isn't that something? Yeah, this is how you know we're not about clickbait here. We don't include rookies and we don't make exceptions for ones that everybody wants to talk about. So that would have been fun. I could probably do a whole off-season thing of just some calls after preseason and see what people think.
Just the Browns quarterback room tiers, I think, would be enough to get you, million views. Last one for you on the tiers here. Of all the ones that you're covering the league every week also, your Monday column is absolutely must read. Who was the biggest delta? Who had the biggest delta of where you thought they were going to be and where they ended up, whether that was the positive or the negative?
Yeah, so this is going to sound a little bit strange. I'll give you a two-part answer. One is, I think the most feedback I've gotten from the fans and from media has been that Jalen Hurts should be higher than tied for 9th after being a Super Bowl MVP. I wasn't surprised by that. One thing I thought Jared Goff is somebody that people had been down on before. And so I thought with Ben Johnson leaving Detroit, that there might be some detractors who kind of knocked him down and predicted Jared Goff was now going to be exposed. And that didn't happen at all. Everyone gave him his due. He got 5 tier 1 votes, which is more than he's ever gotten before combined in doing this, and was just super respected and really highly regarded here to make it into, what was he? 5, 6, he's in the top 10 for sure. So that was one that I was anticipating that didn't happen.
Sorry, last one quickly. Has the league given up on Trevor Lawrence? He's tier 3. He's been tier 3. Yeah. Obviously, he's coming off an injury season.
Yeah, I think the league has given up on him being tier 1. And I think that there had been some hope held out for that. But one of the most striking observations about him is what's he really great at, right? I think you can see for most look at the quarterbacks around him. Kyler Murray is a great scrambler, right? Or Tua Tagovailoa has great accuracy when he's throwing on time. There's some special traits. And certainly as you get up to the top of this thing in tier 1, there's guys with special traits. What does Trevor Lawrence? He's a good athlete, but he's not an amazing scrambler. His accuracy is inconsistent. So, maybe tier 2 with Liam Cohen running the offense is the ceiling.
Very interesting. And he's got Travis Hunter there now on offense, which is cool. Brian Thomas, maybe they start to do something and he maybe starts to live up to the generational talent, which we were calling him only a couple years ago. Mike, we know it's a behemoth. It's a big lift, so we appreciate you doing it. The quarterback tiers at The Athletic, you can read it now. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Mike.
that. Okay, let's turn to Gordon Damer, who's got updates for us on this fine Wednesday. What's up, Gordon?
A little over a month ago, Dodgers had a 9-game lead atop the NL West. Not anymore because the Padres are red hot.
2-2, the pitch. And Merrill hits it hard in the air to deep left field. Ramos is going back. He's at the wall looking up. This one, gonna go! Jaxson Merrill takes it out the other way. His 9th home run of the season. And the Padres add on. It's 5-1.
Yeah, Padres Radio Network. Padres Radio Network. Padres beat the Giants 5-1. Dodgers lost again to the Angels 7-6. So now 0-5 against Anaheim this year. And those two teams, Padres, Dodgers, tied to top the NL West.
We still got to be better on all fronts. And now it's a new season. So, you look at the standings and we just got to play better baseball and find ways to win games.
Of course, that's Dave Roberts sounding very down there.
Padres on the loose. Let's go, Goose.
They're not the only team getting some company atop the division. AL West also now tied. Mariners, they got a win last night. Astros lost again, this time to the Red Sox 14-1. The Mariners beat the Orioles 1-0.
I think the Astro lead was 7 games at one point.
It might have been, yeah. I don't know how long ago that was, but the Astros also having some injury problems. Again, Josh Hader on the injured list now with a shoulder strain, so things starting to wear on Houston. The Brewers, meanwhile, there's no slowing them down. They have now won 11 in a row, crushed the Pirates 14-0. And then from football, of course, James Cook took part in practice yesterday, did not have a new contract at that time. I'm assuming he's going to take part in practice today because he got a new contract. 4 years, $48 million, $30 million of which is guaranteed. And some other football news, Jordan Love, surgery on his non-throwing thumb. He's expected to be good to go for the season opener. Jets backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor, knee surgery, so he is done for the preseason. They hope he will be ready for week 1. And since it's the Jets, I'm sure that's...
Yeah, I'm sure everything's positive.
Everything will work out great.
I mean, Justin Fields is fine, so I think the Jets, the voodoo broke this summer.
That's very confident.
Yeah.
You were saying that I wasn't going to make it till tomorrow.
No. You questioned whether you were going to survive. I was just following your lead.
No, I think I'm going to live longer than Jerry Jones.
He's fine with he's confirmed that he's going to live past Jerry.
Okay.
It's that he's not sure he's a winner.
Oh, no, I'm not a winner.
I don't know about that.
Wait, hold on.
Winner.
I mean, you don't think Jerry is just being propped up on all that Johnny Walker and he's got a live forever vibe. Like that stuff is basically could be like embalming fluid. Like he's not, it's people like that who are going to live I bet Jerry lives to be 102.
Michael Parsons.
And
He
he's
very
still
well
in
might.
charge to the last breath.
If you had to make a bet on who would be like surgically implanted into a robot to live forever, like uploaded to the cloud, Jerry would have to be on the list.
I came across a story, though. It's funny you say that because I thought that all like the AI and all these things are going to make us like a lot healthier, right? And just in general, the more you know.
Weighted vests.
Yeah, sure. Generally, the more you know, the better it is, right? We know a lot more about diet and exercise and all of that. And then I came across this article, I was telling Bogusch about it, where a guy asked ChatGPT to help him replace like salt in his diet with something healthier. And so the ChatGPT told him to take the sodium out and put sodium bromide in. And apparently that is toxic. And the guy ended up in the hospital and almost killed himself. So don't ask the robots.
Have we checked with ChatGPT for a response?
I think the response was he had it coming. No, I don't know. I can't confirm that.
They couldn't be reached for a comment.
Suddenly ChatGPT is really clamming up. But you can't go to the robots. They're our natural enemies. So, you can't ask the robot for anything.
I heard natural enemies.
Manny knows what I'm talking about. You can't ask, what's going to make me live longer or be smarter than a robot? And the robot's going to be like, drink poison.
It's like when Michael Scott followed the GPS and turned directly into the lake.
Yeah, people do that. That's not the computer's fault. That's the human's fault.
Yeah, but...
He never once thought to say, you know what, let me do a quick Google search on sodium bromide.
No, he just assumes the computers are telling him the truth, and they're not. Yeah, this turned up in the Annals of Internal Medicine. A 60-year-old man coming down with an all but defunct condition known as bromism Because ChatGPT.
I thought that's what the WNBA green, you know what, guys had. Broism.
Yeah, it's going to be a new cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Sodium bromide, a substance used in pesticides, pool and hot tub cleaners, and also as a something
Sounds
for
tasty.
for dogs who have seizures.
I would still rather eat that than burnt toast.
That stuff will kill you too.
Where is your toast, Gordon?
It's on the kitchen counter. I left the whole day went right downhill when I left my toast on my kitchen counter.
Okay, so these bromide salts became popular treatment for headaches and stomach aches and general malaise in the late 1800s. And then they realized that people were basically poisoning themselves. It led to confusion, slurred speech, hallucination, psychosis, and even comas. And that's what ChatGPT served up to the student of how do I cut salt out of my diet.
And back in the 1800s, they blamed the devil.
Totally.
It was absolutely the devil.
Cut you open, let the blood come out, then it'll be fine.
Nothing says pre-science than general malaise. That's what I could come up with.
Yeah, depression didn't exist
Or
back
it could be,
then.
high blood pressure. It could be a million things that made like zapped your energy. They just went general malaise.
Yeah, just a sense of longing.
Sniff this.
Meanwhile, so the sodium bromide has like basically been outlawed in many cases by the Environmental Protection Agency, and this guy's drinking it, or however.
So finding it was difficult, and he still found it and ingested it.
He was beating the game. He's trying to get healthy.
And you know that this guy, like the first day or so, was like, I think it's actually working. I feel healthy.
You guys should try this.
I feel good.
He turns to
Look
the
at
mirror
me.
sideways. You know,
kind of look a little green, Steve. I don't know.
It's like I lost all this weight because of this explosive diarrhea that I've been having ever since I poisoned myself.
Tastes like Gatorade, though, so it's delicious.
Meanwhile, the guy almost ended up in a coma. So this
But
is
he
what
didn't, so we can joke.
I'm just saying, and he's
Yeah.
fine now. But I'm just saying, like ChatGPT, there's still bugs in this thing.
Absolutely. And that might be part of it has to, at some point, if it's that smart, want to take over.
They're going to tell us, like, no, you should definitely drink the poison.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for you.
It's not.
Don't trust it, guys. And be nice to these robots, because when they are eventually our overlords,
Be nice to these
they're
robots.
going to remember everyone who yelled at Alexa or what have you.
Isn't that the whole point? Hey, Alexa.
I'm doomed then. I yell at the Google thing.
We're off
all
to a
the
bad
time.
start, by the way, because Kaplan has just been flaming us using AI.
Kaplan is one of them.
Ah.
Kaplan's going to be fine.
Kaplan is AI.
I think so.
Kaplan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, same.
He's the Terminator of this show.
Go Chargers, go.
Although even Kaplan, and this is not a dare. Do you hear me, Cap? This is not a dare. Even Kaplan has not burned anybody as bad as Denzel Washington burned Jerry Jones yesterday. So we will get to that next, because you got to hear a 2-time Oscar winner take out a geriatric team owner.
Kaplan just says challenging.
You haven't lived. Again, that was not a challenge. It's not a challenge. We'll get to that
Water makes
next.
you weak.
We'll get to it next, M&P.
Water is for cowards.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
You know that sound? Cowboy Quickie time.
What a terrible visual from Manny.
If you are watching the live stream, it is. Manny would clearly make the worst cowboy out of all of us after watching that.
Go Giants.
Not to be inside jokes here, but you should check out our stream, youtube.com/InfinitySportsNet, twitch.tv/InfinitySportsNetwork. Chat's a good time.
I can't even look in that direction.
So Denzel Washington, one of the great actors of our generation.
Can ride a horse.
In any generation. Pulls off a better cowboy than many. No, he was on Get Up yesterday with Spike Lee, and he's a really, really big Cowboy fan. So I'll hear cut 9, please, because in only the way Denzel Washington can, Bogish, he takes down Jerry Jones and just leaves him dead in his tracks.
There's box office and there's Oscars. Jerry, been a while, huh? Ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Ooh.
Wouldn't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Uh-oh.
Haven't been to the show, so you wouldn't know what it is to win.
Ouch. There's box office and then there's Oscars is the biggest cut I've seen given to Jerry Jones in a long time.
I don't know. You wouldn't know is pretty cutting too. 3 times. Ooh. You wouldn't know. You haven't been to the show. I mean, none of it is nice.
No.
None of it. Also will be heard by Jerry Jones or affect him in any way. So, good job, Denzel.
Ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Oh, man. Man, Stephen A. is so jealous he didn't come up with that. He's like, box office versus the Oscars. More from Denzel on First Take. I'll hear cut 8, please. Jerry Jones not thinking about the fans anymore.
I've been a Cowboy fan since the 60s. He's making it hard for me. Not to be a fan, because I'm still a Cowboy fan. I'm still going to have the star on the side of the hat. But he ain't thinking about us. He's thinking about his pocket.
Been telling you guys he doesn't care
Been
about
a while,
winning.
Huh? Ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Oh, man. Box office versus Oscar.
And scene. Is that a soliloquy? What is the correct...
Sure. So...
You prepare a monologue for an audition?
Good soliloquy, yes.
That's your Cowboy Quickie.
Wait, Spike Lee was on that show yesterday at the same time, too?
Yes.
And Spike Lee writes dialogue and still couldn't come up with, unless Spike Lee wrote that line, but I don't think so. I think that was a Denzel original.
There's a moment with Spike Lee when Denzel's going off. Spike Lee tries to look into the camera from the side table like, are you guys watching this? It's really funny.
And that's happening like 150 feet from here now. They're right around the corner.
What is going on?
We could have met Denzel after this yesterday.
He's so good.
That's why all that security was outside.
Yeah.
He's so good. Man, it's so succinct in how he says it. There's box office and then there's Oscars. There's popcorn, there's cheap, there's a way to do this, and then there's a way to do it that's actually about winning. And, Denzel just, it's just like chef's kiss. He perfectly put the bow on that.
I think this is Jerry Jones's rock bottom, this moment. Because we talked about it earlier, right? Like all Jerry Jones cares about is celebrity. He basically confirmed that before his documentary was being premiered, where he's like, the soap opera is what makes us interesting.
He's a Kardashian.
Well, here you have a celebrity, literally one of the most famous people on the planet, saying, you're a clown. Your show is a clown. You don't compare to me. Like, I'm an Oscar winner. You're like, you're Transformers. You're nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you're just whatever. Like, I think that cuts Jerry way deeper than a loss to the 49ers in the division game.
EJ, the thing is about people like Jerry Jones is that they don't have shame and they don't feel that. I think there are some people that are either so rich, so entitled, or so blinded or delusional that they don't. You know what Jerry Jones, I bet, hears when Denzel's saying all this stuff? He's hearing, well, I'm still a fan.
Yep.
And I still have the star on the side of my helmet. There's no rock bottom's not capable for a guy like Jerry Jones. There's other people in our lives who are like this famous people. They do not feel shame. There's nothing you can say to hurt Jerry.
Yep.
Because he's like, as long as you're talking about me, that's the only thing that matters.
And when the request comes in from Denzel's people for sweet tickets for a game this year, Jerry's going to go like, see, I still win. He's still coming here.
You can't drop a box office versus Oscar line and then ask for tickets.
Yeah, he can't go back.
No.
Yeah,
you must be outside your mind.
He said he's still a fan.
You can't ask the team for tickets after you said your box office, not Oscar.
Somebody else.
Now you're thinking. First you smile, then you think.
November's a long way away. Jerry's not going to remember what was said by then.
Meanwhile, I did have the top 5 things that Jerry Jones cares about more than winning.
2 of them were ladies related.
Number 5, Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
That's
Number
one.
4, any of the myriad of lawsuits he's probably facing at this current time. Number 3, that the stadium looks good because he will not put curtains up.
AT&T Stadium.
Even when CeeDee Lamb is being blinded. Because after daylight savings time, if you have a 4 o'clock start, the sun just goes right into their eyes.
So he's big on ambiance is what you're saying.
Got to be about the vibe.
On the vibes, yeah.
2 is the Hall of Fame, and 1 is just purely the attention. Those are the 5 things he cares about more than winning. And I probably could have extended this to 10 if I really thought harder.
He loves Egg McMuffins.
Is that right?
Oh, you don't remember the Hard Knocks clip where he eats an Egg McMuffin every day, and then he gets in and he adds salt to it?
Oh, I do remember that. I do remember that.
He should try sodium bromide or whatever.
Replace that salt with sodium bromide, please.
Well, that's why he's lived so long. That's what he's doing.
It's a diet of Egg McMuffins, Johnny Walker, and just attention fame.
That dude is living.
Just bright lights.
The amount of time spent putting salt on that Egg McMuffin was uncomfortable for me. Like, I understand maybe one dab. It was like infinite dabs. I'm like, no, stop the dabbing. No more salt. What are you doing?
Somewhere his cardiologist is just like,
Oh, that guy's giving up.
Yeah, he's just collecting a check at this point.
Can you just sign this and we'll call it a day? Sign this waiver, thanks.
Thank you, EJ Stewart, Manny Rodriguez. Thank you to Gordon Damer, Andrew Kaplan, Bogus. Great job, of course. Weedos and coffee drinkers. Man, you guys are just a gift. We appreciate you so much. See you tomorrow.
Been a while, huh? Ain't been to the show. You wouldn't know.